Hello there, chat. How's it going, everyone? How's it going? I have a large audience here today. Can we get a quick audio check to see if y'all hear me just fine? How is everyone doing today? Hi, hello, hey, yeah, hi, hello. Okay, it's him, the man, finally, hello. Yeah, I'm really sorry, about having to hold off for a little bit. We are admittedly doing a little bit of last minute bug fixing, but, hey, we are here to finally get the show on the road. The thing that I've been teasing for literal fucking eons now. Well, eons for the past month, basically. But yeah. How is everyone doing today? We're going to be getting into the scene in a little bit and hear everyone else involved. I'm Devin right now on Discord. But yeah, how's everyone doing today? Are all of you excited for this? Because this is a project that I've been working on for a rather long time. So yeah, very good actually. Got Super Evil Wealth. Oh, do we already have Super Evil Wealth in chat? That's awesome. Very hyped. Yes, rah. Yes, hurrah. This looks interesting. I'm excited for Chaos. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's going to be very fun. It is going to be fucking awesome. We love D&D. We're all hyped. I'm so hyped. Me and the neighborhood are excited. Hell yeah. Love to have the entire sweeper horde in here. Woo 13 Association. Hell yeah. Give me a second. Let me see if all my players are ready. Okay, there we go. There we are. I am going to be turning off my Devon status. Okay, there we go. Devon status turned off, and I'll be switching the scene. Now, hello everyone. They can hear you now, so feel free to say hi to chat. Feel free to say hi.
Hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
chat?
Hello. But yeah, we have a whole bunch of people here today, as you may notice. Don't mind the, background at the moment. It is merely just something for you all to look at. I have actual maps, and I have actual stuff prepared. But I thought we'll keep it at here to just do a quick little character introduction and for everyone to introduce their characters. So, I think without further ado, we can just basically get started on that. Addy, would you like to go first and introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, I'm Adesil. I'm a shit poster, Project Moon creator, and I'm playing as Briar Rose. I don't remember much, but I'm Briar Rose, and all I know is that I need to make friends all the time.
I'm actually
That's
gonna
it.
briefly start the music here. There we go. Nice introduction. Thank you very much. Give me a second while I mess around with the music a little bit. There we are. Let's see how that is capturing on the OBS. You all should be hearing music now. Thank you for that introduction. Next up, Meaty, would you like to go?
Or immediately in character?
Sorry, I just referred to you as Meaty. Archibird, go.
Hi.
Introduce
Hi,
yourself and your character, if you will.
Oh god, everyone's looking at me weird. Oh god. Hi. Sweats. Hi, I'm Archibird. I post comic dubs and also shitpost on. I shitpost Project Moon content. I will be playing the character Minnie, loosely based off Kiki's Delivery Service. I do not know much, but all I know is I am fast and I need to find my parents. Have you seen my mom and dad? Thank you, that is all.
Lovely, lovely. And next up on the chopping block, Sinna, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Cinnafon, also known as Cinna. I am the DM for the Project Moon TTRPG, the Fifth Trumpet, and co-creator of the Fifth Trumpet system. I am super excited to be here as a player and not be a forever DM for once. And I'm super excited to be getting to play in Jackafang system. And to introduce my character, hello everyone, my name is Bomb, formerly designated 1190-1220. I served under Commander Bach in the Smoke War on the side of G-Corp, the true G-Corp.
Alright.
Please don't ask my age. I know I don't look it.
Alright, thank you for the introduction. Next up on the chopping block, Casco, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Hi, I'm Casco. I do Project Moon videos. Today I'm playing Devlin. Devlin, how's it going? I'm gonna find that guy and I'm gonna kill him. That's all you really need to know about me.
Alright, lovely. Then next up, Pariah, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Hello, audience, chat, those who don't know me, and the few of you who probably do. My name is Prior Year, but everyone just calls me Prior. I am, by the most technical legal definition, a streamer, but most of the time I am humbly a player in Cinna's 5th Trumpet TTRPG. I am the co-creator of that system, and today, yet again, I will be playing another role on another TTRPG, as Welv has been so gracious to let me in. It's so nice to meet you. I can't wait to perform for you all today, and I am playing Buck, who I shall now let introduce himself. My name is Buck. I was once, a long time ago, someone. I don't remember much of who that man was, but I remember that he fought for G-Corp. He bled for G-Corp. He lost everything for G-Corp. What remains in this husk has a single mission, and I shall carry it out before I am done. It's very cold today.
Alright, thank you for your character introduction. And then last but not least, Arcangela, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
There we go. Hi, I'm Arcangela. You know who I am, you know what I'm do. If you don't, you should, you know. I'm gonna be playing Ashley with these lovely people. And for Ashley to introduce herself, good evening, I'm Ashley Vandermeer, and I will be at your service.
Alright, lovely. Oh, okay. Well, now that character introductions are aside, I think we can properly get the show on the road. So, without further ado, I suppose let us set the scene, as I will be going ahead and briefly changing the scene to a different one. Please stay tuned. Give me a second. Hold on, it should be this one, activates. So you'll be seeing a black screen as of right now. Give me a second.
Quiet compared to everyone else, according to...
Give me a second. I will immediately put someone on the scene so there is something to look at. As I will already, first of all, put the first 2 people who will be walking in on the scene ahead on it. There we go. You could also go ahead and I will real quick go ahead and update your visions so that you can see more of the map. Give me a bit. Sorry, chat. We are still working this out just a little bit. I will briefly update Bao to be 200 meters. There we go. Anyway, to briefly set the scene, and to also give a little bit of a preamble, 13 Association is set after the events of Library Funa and during the events of Limbus Company. And as we all know, the events of Library Funa have not been so kind to District L, let's say so. Thanks to the library and the folk, there were a lot of people who have taken advantage of the chaos and confusion and the folk that the library spewed out into L Corp, and have allowed for a lot of people to take a root in it. For example, the Tom and the Index and various other syndicates have sought to fill up the power vacuum left by L Corp after the events of, well, White Nights and Dark Days, and the events of the library as well. And so that is where we currently are. At the moment, we are in a vacant L Corp that is under no control at all of anyone. Let me actually briefly change the music, because I think there will be something more appropriate for this. Give me a second. There we go. This music would fit a little bit better, methinks. Hold on. For some reason, music is not deciding to work with me here. There we are. This fits the scene a bit better. But yeah, we are in L Corp after the event of all of that. There is... L Corp at the moment would be described as a vagrant shithole, to say the least. No one is in control of it. There are a bunch of people trying to fill its power vacuum. And that has led to a lot of people trying to take advantage of it, or trying to make the best out of it, trying to serve whoever is willing to give protection, or whoever is willing to protect them, and trying to make ends meet. And these lovely people we have here today are such people. Through one way or another, they have all, in their own ways, gotten wind of this new office, brand new office, setting up in the turbulent L Corp, which is already very surprising. This office goes by the name of their teen office, or more colloquially known as 13 office. This office is one that is led by a very bright-eyed individual who has very, very grand ambitions in spite of the horrible place that is generally L Corp at the moment, and has offered stable fixture work in this during these incredibly turbulent times. And due to all of this sounding way too good to be true to a lot of people, and also a screening process which is quite rigorous, as 13 Office has a few very specific rules for signing up, led to a very tough screening process, and these lovely players here today are the people who will be getting accepted into 13 Office and immediately getting to work on the stuff, on the specialized stuff. As 13 Office specializes in everything and anything Lobotomy Corp related, abnormality related, Pectulum related, and even distortion related. It is a self-proclaimed office that is there to take care of anything and everything that LobCorp has made a mess of, and is trying to make L Corp a better place. And so that is where we start off today. That is where we start off today. After the screening process and right before the hiring process, all of these people have been called here today to the streets of 13 Office, the streets at which 13 Office resides, to have the final talk and hopefully get hired. To set the scene a little bit here in this particular part of L Corp's back streets, in spite of... So there are a lot of people that obviously, a lot of factions that have a lot of control over different various parts of the back streets and the wing itself. Some are controlled by, for example, the Tom, some are controlled by the Index, some are controlled by nobody syndicates, and some are just large gray zones as a whole. This one particular section of the back streets, weirdly enough, has a lot of Zwei protections hit up, and a lot of Seven Association presence at the scene. So this is actually, surprisingly enough, one of the nicer parts of the back streets, as it is perpetually protected by Zwei, as it is perpetually protected by Zwei policemen. Word has it on the street that there's some deal between the Zwei and the Seven as to why they are even risking this in the first place. But either way, it makes the place somewhat safe in this hellscape. And so, that is the scene, and so, Bommenbok, you have been walking through the streets for a little while now, making your way to the destination of 13th Association. You have been told that, or how would you say, you have been told that 13th office is in front of is in an alleyway that is behind a Ham and Bang Bang. And you find yourself in front of, at the moment, what looks to be a abandoned Ham and Bang Bang building. Obviously, because L Corp is quite a vagrant shithole at the moment, there is no one really wanting to maintain a business there at the moment. You can already see its front door has basically been completely boarded up. And on the little, like, outcroppings that you see, that has, like, windows on it, from there on the inside, you can see that it is a little bit of a mess there. There are, how would I say it? It's a little bit of an unmaintained mess. It's not like, it's like the place has been completely robbed. It's already been picked clean from what it looks like. But yeah, abandoned Ham and Bang Bang. And so yeah, how would you like to, how would you say it? How do your characters react? Or how would you like to act in this current moment as you are close to the destination?
Absolutely. You all see as a giant shadow passes out of the alleyway, striding on legs like sticks that strike the ground like needles. And the shadow seems to fold in on itself, the legs cracking and clicking until Bomb emerges from the shadows. This man, if you can call him that, stands around 5'4". He has long green hair and little antennae that seem to twitch. There are two bows, a futile attempt to try to hide the antennas, and his arms, which are shaped like a praying mantis's, keep nervously twitching as he just sort of looks around and goes, wings, I think this is the right place. I think so. Commander, where we should be, right?
From the same alleyway, there is a much shorter shadow and the sound of metallic clinking repeating as this 4-foot tall box, barely scraping over the height of some of the boxes and milk crates, sort of like a wind-up toy, marches its way out of the alleyway. Its knees seem almost incapable of bending as it waddles like a penguin, barely able to keep up with Bomb even as he slowed down. The eye, gray and misshapen, digital, most likely, glances around as from out of its cold metal husk, a voice seems to reverberate. This place changed so much from back then. It's strange, though. Destruction always comes back. We are where we need to be, soldier. Remember that we were told this sandwich shop would be our road marker. Give me a moment. These legs don't work like they should or used to. The rust. And a metal hand comes up and seems to scratch at the rust by one of the exhaust pipes, and there's this pathetic plume of smoke that seems to burst out from where he scratches at, like, a piece of duct tape that's been hastily put over a crack, and if you don't stop him, he will probably tear out whatever terrible, like, poor job you've done at trying to patch the prosthesis back together as he itches away at it relentlessly.
And Bomb tries to go reach for him and says, if you're tired, Commander, I can attempt to carry you.
I can still march. We have to make it to the front line. We have to make it to the objective. The objective that it's so cold, Bomb. Where are we?
Well, Commander, we are headed to 13 office, which is behind the Ham Pang Pang. We're not on the front lines right now. Not anymore, at least.
Right. The association, the 13th office, the 13th office. That's where we're going. We are going to make on so we can continue to preserve our dignity and rights. Lead the way, soldier. Your commander will follow you. We will secure this position.
Of course, Commander. And Bomb has begun to lead, but he kind of keeps circling back and hovering around the box as he goes, Are you sure you don't need me to carry you? I can probably pick you up if you need be. I mean, if Briar was here with us, I'm sure she's on her way. I never know what she's doing. She's stronger than me, but I'm pretty sure I can pick you up.
I can still march. The flesh is not that weak, soldier. I still remember it. 1, 2, hut, 1, 2, hut, 1, 2. And you see the box strain as the prosthetic tries to keep up with the will of the man trapped inside of it, as he almost pushes Bomb ahead of him as the two of them start to make their way towards the office itself.
Alright, and while all of that is going on, let me set the scene for the others to arrive as well. So, while all of that is going on, I will say that, give me a second, BD and Briar will be arriving on the scene as well. I'll put you on opposite sides of the road here. There we go. Alright, to set the scene here a little bit for the both of you. BD, you are... how would you say, like, you were traversing the back streets? Would you be, like, a little bit nervous about it? Or, like, how would BD, like, carry herself through these back streets? As you eventually come across the scene of, how would you say it? Bob helping out, I would say it's this person helping out this prosthetic user who seems to be very much so clearly struggling to I would say it's to get their motor functions going, let's just say.
Well, Minnie she knows where the general meeting place is. She knows she's supposed to be behind a sandwich shop, a Ham Pang Pang. She's never been there personally, but she knows she's not supposed to be there alone. So Minnie will try to call out some of her other compatriots that she knows are gonna be there. So she'd be calling, "Hello, Mr. Bach, Mr. Baum, anyone there? Hello?" As she turns the corner, and she sees Baum trying to take care of the cube of Bach, as Bach is struggling, and Minnie would rush over, her broom in hand, and, like, I wouldn't say rush or sprint, but she hurry up her pace and, like, does a little jog to get there. "Oh my goodness, Mr. Baum, Mr. Bach, are you two all right? What happened?"
For a moment, you see the eye inside of the box flash red, almost as if it's instinctively activating some kind of combat mode before it fades back to gray, and it goes, Minnie! I recognize your broom. Yes. Don't worry, we were making our way to the objective. Yes, the soldier bomb was leading the way. I'm fine. I'm just having a bit of an off day. The oil didn't reach my brain the right way this morning, I'm sure. It's, the delivery pipe on this thing has a slow release. I'm sure the brain, the what's the word for when it makes something moist? Lubricants. The lubricants will kick in soon. They always do. Don't worry, I'm doing fine. How are you doing today, Minnie?
Sorry, I'm gonna have to quickly interrupt because I do want to clarify that as this is happening, we can say that this is the part that Briar walks in on the situation. You likewise have also been traveling here to this destination, to go ahead and go to 13 office. I will say that also briefly as you walk past the alleyway that you did walk past, you did also briefly notice the entrance to 13 office back in the alleyway, but you decide to approach you decide to approach the rest first. So, what would you like to do?
It's you guys. I'm happy that you guys didn't actually leave me. I'm here as well. I lost sight of you. Where were you? I saw the trash can. It had some delicious sandwiches on it. Very, very kind of people to actually leave food there. You want some? And then she actually pulls out like a half-eaten pang sandwich that's been disposed.
Looks at the sandwich, looks at Briar, and just kind of sighs and goes, "You didn't put anything weird in the sandwich, did you?"
Oh, why would I do that? I wouldn't do that to my friends. Here. Here, I'm going to bite it first, and then she bites it. She bites it. Revealing like rows of like sharp teeth. Like more of like a carnivore's teeth, and then just chomps on it like a big exaggerated chomp that, kind of like a looks friendly, tries, or at least tries, and then and then just offers it.
Bomb will tentatively reach out one of his little mantis arms to take the sandwich that Briar has taken a bite from, if she hands it over to him.
Yeah, just hands it over. Tentatively, yeah.
He takes it and he eats it. I just kind of nods and he says, It's not that bad. I'd offer you some, Commander, or Minnie, you can actually eat food." And Bomb looks to Minnie and offers the sandwich that's now been bitten out of 2 people.
Minnie doesn't say this, but she thinks this in the back of her mind. She thinks, she looks to her side, towards the Ham Hang Pang Pang building, and she notices all the lights are off, some of the windows are smashing in, and she thinks to herself, I'm pretty sure this Ham Hang Pang Pang's abandoned. I don't know where Miss Pryor got that sandwich from. I'm a little... I think I lost my appetite just looking at it, actually.
Yeah, you actually see mold and stuff. Yeah.
Like, oh, and then Minnie says like, Mr. Miss Pryor, thank you so much for the offer, but I'm feeling rather full today. I managed to find some food earlier, so you don't really need to concern me. Thank you.
But you need to grow. You look so small. You're a bit taller than Buck here, but I'm worried about you. I'm worried about a friend.
Likewise, it's good to eat. Food's hard to come by in the back streets.
Alright, and I'll say, while the little sandwich conundrum is going on, let us introduce our last few people who will be entering into the scene real quick. So, much like the rest, and I'll say that you two Oh, hold on. Actually, you're gonna have to change that real quick. Don't worry about it, just change it real quick. But there we go. Much like the other, the rest of the people here, you two, I'll just say since you two are familiar with each other, we can say you two have been traveling together to this location. And you do eventually make it after a little bit of navigating through the back streets of Elcorp and familiarizing yourself with the location. You eventually reach what you think is what you are very confident in is the location, as it has been described to be behind an abandoned in an alleyway just beside an abandoned Hum and Bung Bung building. And as you walk in on the scene, how would you say it? At least to, how would you say it? You see some familiar people gathered together at the opposite end of the street, seeming to have some kind of weird argument and passing around a half-eaten Hum and Bung Bung sandwich. You don't quite exactly know the context, but this is the situation that you are provided with. So how would you two like to react?
Okay, actually, gonna be probably in a hurry, as usual, and she's gonna be fast-pacing, without looking behind whether or not Devlin is following. And as soon as she spots Bach, that old familiar box, she's gonna, like, take a moment and go, whew, okay, I think this is the place. Sorry we're fashionably late. Friend Devlin over here was a little, as usual. I needed to go fish him up. Devlin?
Yeah, I don't know what she means by that.
Bomb waves a hand and says, Ashley, I remember you from our previous mission. Even though you came from T-Corp, you were quite capable. And who's this? And Bomb kind of looks over at Devlin and sort of cocks his head and says, is this the one you mentioned to us before?
Yes, this is friend Devlin, everybody. Devlin was supposed to follow us in the last mission. He couldn't make it. I do not know why. Do you need more time again?
I couldn't make it because let's just say I met some of my adoring fans in the back streets, and they wanted some, and then he holds up his fist in front of his face. They wanted some of my autographs. Don't worry about it. And you can see that his knuckles are bruised from something. You also see that around his collar area, you can kind of see like a shimmer. There was a dark spot on his neck, but now you can't see it anymore. And he walks up to Baum, points at the sandwich, and is like, "Hey, you gonna finish that?"
You can have some if you'd like. Actually, I probably should ask Briar. Briar, it's your sandwich. And Bomb realizes that Bomb's still been holding it.
Oh, it's okay. It's a toast for a new friend, right?
I suppose. Bomb hands the sandwich over to Devlin.
Devlin snatches it out of Baum's claw and just takes a massive bite out of it without even looking at it.
Yeah, this sandwich has been described as being filled with mold, and it is older. The bread is probably just. It probably feels like crunching down on an exoskeleton filled with mold.
It's very delicious.
Ashley's just shaking her head, crossing her neck like, no.
Well, at least he finished it. What a trooper.
Minnie feels sick. She's gonna take a hit from her inhaler.
Right, I will also briefly say that, how would you say it? Some of you who feel like, how would you say it? Let's say that some of you who feel sick, you'd obviously feel the natural inclination to just get the scene, or like, just immediately transition away from whatever the heck that sandwich bit was, and actually get back to the objective,
Yeah.
the objective on the road here, as you are reminded that you are here to go to 13 office, and basically sign up. For those who came from the right side of the street, I will also briefly remind you that you could glance from the alleyway that there was an open door with iconography of the 13th office right beside it. That is to say,
alright.
this
Yes.
one over here. Hold on, let me see if I can ping it. I forgot exactly how I can ping.
You just
Like, I
hold.
think
You
you-
click and hold.
Yeah, click O.
I cannot ping it. Ugh. Well,
Either.
the alleyway that you
Yes.
see over yonder, the one that's in prior pinned.
Yeah.
That one.
Bach looks to Bomb and then looks to Devlin and everyone and goes, "All right, you're not soldiers. Associated civilians and fixers. We have a mission. It is to make it to the office. Let's march. We have our orders. We will carry it out to the greatest of our ability. I shall take up the rear, as my legs are small and incapable of moving me with any such speed or force. Briar,
Mhm.
would you be capable of expediting my pace with your exceptional
of
strength?"
course. Of course. Don't worry. Okay. She bends over and then just like clutches on Bok and just carries him around like a stuffed toy. Just embracing him like that. Like, yeah, she's got pretty long arms, kinda. So, and she's strong enough to lift him up.
Bomb sort of
Alright.
hovers around.
Yeah, the metal creaks as you lift it with strength. Like if you squeezed Bach, he would pop like a balloon.
Yeah, I'll be gentle. I don't want to lose another friend.
Be careful with the commander.
Yes, of course. Don't worry about it. Let's go.
With that, you are free to move over to the aforementioned alleyway, make your way down it. How would I say it? As you make your way down the alleyway, it is of a little bit less maintained, as you see Trashka at the end. But there is, how would you say it, on the side of wall is the, I know it's not on the map, but just visualize it for yourself. There is the iconography of the 13th office beside the door, along with a doormat that has the iconography of the 13th office. And the door is open as you make your way down the alleyway, as if clearly expecting viewers. As if clearly expecting visit. And I'm gonna have to stop you right there. So, okay. I'll say that, Baum, you are gonna be the one reacting here since you're the one up in front. As you make your way over to the alleyway and to the open door, you are greeted with a actually very pleasant sight. It is a rather nicely decorated room. The wallpapers have a pattern of fleur-de-lises interjected with occasional stripes in and amongst between them. And you also immediately, the first thing that hits you as you basically get inside of this room is the distinct smell of flowers, actually. As you immediately notice a few flower pots off to the side and even on the desk, which also draws your attention to the person at the end of the room. You can immediately ascertain that they are the person you've met before in the screening process. And that being, of course, Willow, your soon-to-be boss, who is at the moment... How would I say it? She is at the moment... And also, give me a second, I will actually briefly start a cutscene here so you can see the full character art. Give me a second. while I do that. There we go. Just so you can see the full character art, and also for all of the audience to see it. You see Willow at the end of the at the end of this room, leisurely with her, how to say it, leisurely laying back on her chair as she seems to be polishing her man catcher. You get immediately the distinct impression of just how much the man catcher clashes with her rather cheerful and dolly attitude. She seems to be just casually cleaning it off and doing some maintenance on it. And once you step to the door, she immediately, how to say it, she raises one of her eyebrows as if to see what is going on at the front door, and she speaks up and says, "Oh, why hello there. I was wondering what's taking so long. Come on inside. Feel free, come in. Just welcome yourself inside. I've been waiting for a little while." As she goes ahead and puts the man catcher off to the side, like leaning against the desk.
Bomb just kind of nods his head and will look to see that everyone is following and says, I suppose we should go in?
Yes. Sure. I'll just put down Bok right now because, yeah, he's a big boy. Then, yeah, she bends over again and then puts down Bok very gently. Don't want to damage the friend.
Yeah.
Bok's legs touch the ground, and though they wobble for a moment, he stands on his own power and goes, "Thank you, Briar. You have assisted me in moving with swiftness. Now, march! 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's unclear if he's counting for other people or himself as his wobbly legs sort of swing wildly to either side as the knees don't bend as the box shifts precariously on its balance as he enters.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and feel free to describe, like, if your character does anything as they walk into the room. Willow is just going to patiently, like, wait at the desk.
Devlin immediately
yeah.
pushes
Okay.
past Minnie, walks in, and sits on the first table that he sees.
Right.
How tall is the doorway?
I would say it is about, like, it is average doorway height. If you want me to give a clear-cut height, I'll say, like, 1 meter 60 centimeters. I don't know what that is in feet.
That is very short.
That is
All right,
yeah, that's
give me
fine.
that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I should... Okay, I'm gonna say
That's
1
fine.
meter 80 centimeters. There we
That's
go.
too short.
No, like 10 meters.
What?
That's
What do you
2
mean 10?
meters.
No.
2 meters is the
Mm.
average door, please.
Okay, 2 meters. Go ahead, it's 2 meters.
Briar will just wipe her shoes on the doormat and then bends over a bit because she's 6'2". And then yeah, she walks in, hunched over, and then goes to the two that she's most familiar with.
Ashley is gonna walk in, and when she passes by the door, she's gonna examine the hinges a little bit and go like, "This shoddy door is 10 centimeters shorter than usual, huh?"
I suppose, would that be loud enough for Willow to catch? Because if so, she's going to react to that.
Yeah? I'm coming into
Okay.
the room.
Then, yeah, Willow goes ahead and gets out of her chair as you all are entering the room and comes ahead and leisurely strolls over to all of you. As she walks over, she speaks up and says, to respond to your comment, Ashley, "Oh, sorry about that. In case it isn't obvious, I've kind of been renovating this room a little bit on my own accord. Well, you can probably tell by it being next to an abandoned hum and bung bum building. This used to be part of the building, and let's just say me and my friends have been redecorating it and repurposing it. So, sorry if it's
Oh.
not too decorated or there's some mismatch here and there. Really, I apologize.
Could be worked with. Nothing you can't fix.
Give me a second. Let me also turn down the music on my end because it's a bit loud. There we go. Let me also turn it up on OBS. Right. Well, anyway, as you'll enter into the room, Willow rubs her chin and looks over all of you. And she sort of starts to, like, point at each one of you, saying, okay, if memory serves me right, and she goes, like, from left to right, you're Devlin, you're Midi, you're Ashy, you're Book, and you're Baum, and you're... Briar?
Briar Rose, yes, but just call me Briar.
Right. Okay, just making sure I got everyone's names right. I'm a bit of a klutz when it comes to names, so my apologies about that.
Well,
Anyway.
same.
Bach has wandered directly in front of Willow and is looking up at her. And as he does, he juts a rusty metal hand forward towards her and goes, "The pleasure is mine to meet you, Bach Munchkinlander of the G Corp doesn't exist any job. Bach Munchkinlander, Fixer. A pleasure to make your acquaintance, ma'am. I am here to serve." And with his other hand, he performs a salute.
Likewise, Willow extends her own hand, speaks up and says, Nice to meet you, Book Munchkinlander. You may refer to me as Willow, Fixer of Justice." And she excitedly extends her hand as well to do a handshake.
Fixer of Justice. Understood. I shall remember that. And if I forget, I extend a preemptive apologies. My mind is not what it used to be. But if you have anything I need to remember, you can refer to my second in command and soldier, Bomb. Bomb, introduce yourself.
Yes, Commander. Hello, I am Bomb. I am Commander Box, second in command and soldier. Pleasure to meet and serve, ma'am. And Bomb also is saluting.
I suppose in kind, since you're, like, how would I say it? Since you're saluting, Willow, in jest, salutes back as well. And says, Nice to meet you as well. Likewise, nice to meet you as well, Baum. Happy to likely have you on the team here in 13 Office.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I am honored to be part of the team. And Bomb sort of steps back beside Bach as if waiting for an order.
The Briar just whispers on Bomb, hey, you did good with that introduction. Good for you. She looks friendly.
You think so? Bomb kind of like flushes a little and goes, I hope it was a good introduction. It's been a while since we've been dealing with official people, as you probably know. She does seem friendly. You should introduce yourself to Briar. And Bomb kind of gives Briar a little push forward with his claws.
Yes, my name is Briar. And then she materializes like a rose out of, you're not sure how she does it, but, and here's my friend Rose. Introduce yourself, Rose. Hello, my name is Rose, and I'm Briar's companion. And you can actually see that it's very bad ventriloquism. I hope we can be friends.
I see. Well, it is nice to meet the both of you. Willow first extends a little hand to the rose that you manifested in your hand. Gives a sort of little hand. Does the rose have any like leaves on it? If so,
Yes.
Yeah,
With
she will give a
thorns,
little
yeah.
handshake to a small leaf on it. You also, as she does this, you do notice a discernible expression of surprise at you seemingly manifesting a rose out of completely nowhere. but she seems to play. You get the impression that she's just playing off of it anyway, as if this is completely natural to her, and then proceeds to extend a handshake over to you. And nice to meet you as well, Briar.
Yes, yeah, we can be friends, right? We're all gonna be friends here, right?
I see no reason as to not be friends.
Good. Oh, that is a relief. All right. I'll go a bit. Yeah, this is very very nice. But I feel like I'm imposing. She backs away and then yeah, goes back to where Bomb is.
And Bomb just gives her a little nod and smile and says, I don't think you scared her too bad.
I hope so. Here's to hoping.
Willow raises a small. Oh, if you're not done yet, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, she just cradles the rose for now. Yeah, just to calm herself down.
If you're paying attention to Willow's expression, she does noticeably raise an eyebrow of all sides for like a second before immediately continuing her jovial, cheerful attitude. Well, anyway, I suppose we shall continue the formalities. Minnie, nice to meet you. As she extends a hand out towards you.
Minnie reaches out her hand in turn. Hi, yes. Hello again, Miss Willow. Minnie shakes her hand with both hands, really really hard, like really excited. Miss Willow, so nice to see you again. Thank you again so much for paying my fixer, what's it called? The entrance exam. I've always wanted to be a fixer ever since I was young, but I couldn't really ever pay the entrance exam fees, so and then you did, so thank you for that.
Well, no problem. It seemed like you had potential to me, and you were the right person for the job. So I'm happy to have you here. So I'm happy to have you here in 13 office. And she gives a firm handshake.
I'm happy to be working here too, ma'am. Thank you.
And next over she hold on, give me a second. And next over she goes over to Devlin and Ashley and extends a hand outwards. Nice to meet the both of you as well.
Ashley is gonna take her hand and go like, hello, I'm the engineer contracted, and well, from what I see so far, I'm gonna be having a lot of work, which is wonderful.
Well, I mean, good to hear that, and I suppose that is precisely why I hired you as well. I thought I could use the engineering experience on my team. So happy to have you.
I could tell I was needed.
And after a handshake with Ashley, she goes ahead and extends a hand over to Devlin.
Devlin kind of gives her a half-hearted nod, but doesn't shake, and then goes, "Sup?"
Devlin,
Willow.
would you please?
What? It's just a handshake. It's not that big of a deal.
Friend.
Well, Willow, at the reaction, does raise an eyebrow, but seems to shrug it off right afterwards, doing a physical shrug motion, says, well, I suppose handshakes are not needed. It is merely just formality after all. Nice to have you on the team, Devlin.
Yeah, see, Ashley, she don't mind.
She's just shaking her head.
Well, anyway, now let's get to actual official serious business here. Since you all are here to be hired and since you all are here for a job and we are here to discuss that job, as she goes over to immediately walk back to her desk and takes a seat. Sorry, I didn't prepare any chairs. As you can tell, this is kind of still a rush job. But, yeah, you all made it. Well, I suppose I should first of all say congratulations on all making it through the screening process, and I'm happy to meet you all here today. And, well, I have informed you about the general layout and about the general layout and expectations that I was having today, but I was gonna have a brief chit chat with y'all to make sure to doubly make sure you're the right people for the job, and we were gonna get down to business immediately. So, I suppose so far anything that someone has yet to mention that they would like to bring up, or are there perhaps any questions? And she says that all as she leans back in her chair behind her desk.
Like,
Bach,
yes.
Bach will, Bach will let Ashley go first. Please go ahead.
You want to go first?
No. Bach sees Ashley about to speak and gestures for Ashley to go ahead.
Okay. Well, yes, I do have just one question. You see,
Yes?
she's gonna like try to lower her volume a little bit. Why did you hire a monster again? Are we that desperate in this office?
Hold on, could you raise your voice a bit? You're a bit far away.
Am I quiet in like the game? In the
Out of character, I did actually not hear what you said. And also in
Okay,
character, that is what
raise
Willow
my
would say,
damn
since you
volume. The stream is also complaining about this.
are... Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Then I will raise your volume to max. There we go.
Alright, Ashley is gonna, go even a little closer, like, why did you hire a monster again? Are we that desperate in this office?
Higher
I think I'm just
monster.
trying to assess, like, how down bad this office is. Like, how promising it is, or, how doomed it is.
What? I suppose Willow replies by also speaking in hushed tones. What exactly do you mean with monster? Do you perhaps mean
Briar.
your... Yeah, I was about to say your flower manifesting friend. That does come across as a peculiarity to me that I did not account for before, but is going to be a questionable welcome addition to the team. Either way, she seems like either way, from the screening process and the personal background checks and assessments I've done, she seemed like a capable fighter to me. So, do you have any issues with Briar personally that you would like to bring up?
I would just keep an eye out.
Okie dokie.
She's
Well,
just, oops,
thank-
she's gonna be here.
well, thank you for raising your concerns, I suppose. Well, anyway, any other questions that anyone may have? Or anything you would like to bring up?
Yeah, is this Devlin kind of half raises his hand, interrupting Bach. This office is contracted by the Zwei Association?
Not quite. You're close, though. Not quite. I was actually going to go into detail on this a bit more once we get down into the nitty-gritty paper details of it all and actually start making picture contacts. Though I will outright state that 13th Office is sponsored by 7 Association, and, well, you might have noticed from the 7 Association, Zwei Association, having quite close bonds here in his spotted back streets, that you could say by osmosis, sure, we're related to Zwei Association, but we don't really have any official contracts with them. My main sponsor is 7 Association, though, but won't deny that Zwei and 7 have a thing going on their own behalf in here.
He gives like a thumbs up and then just goes back to reclining against the wall.
Bach seems to have gotten distracted between the last 2 moments, and he's currently staring at like a spot on the ceiling, and then like after a moment he like snaps back to reality and he goes, Willow, or do you prefer Miss Fixer of Justice?
You may refer to me as any title you like, but most people refer to me as plain and simple Willow.
Willow, then. I shall be frank. What is the pay? Do we receive a cut of commissions? Can we expect an annual salary? what is our expected method of payment?
It is a combination of a annual salary and a commission fee per mission that we as the 13th office complete here. The way the way me and Seven Association have it set up is that we are steadily supplied with a bit of money on their end to get funding going here, on here, but also for each mission that benefits them and anything that we are able to provide for them, we will also be getting a commission fee out of that, and I intend to extend the same payment to the rest of you.
Are we provided with life insurance as part of this package?
Yes, you are. Guaranteed by the Seven Association. In fact...
May I opt out of it?
Opt out of it? Wait,
Commander.
why exactly?
There is very little of me left to recover.
I mean... I wouldn't say so. Like, what if you as a person are not ever able to be recovered? Are you sure you just want to simply accept death like that? I mean,
I do not think enough of me would come back if I were pushed into an even smaller prosthesis, ma'am. I would like my wishes to be respected.
You know, I was gonna beat around the bush here a little bit and not deny how...
I am a
Let's say
4-foot
subpar the
tall
prosthetics
boss,
are.
freezing cold, ma'am. I am aware of what I look like, and I am aware of how little of me is left. I would like to make this request up front, and my wishes to be respected, that I not be placed in an even smaller prosthesis.
Understood. I will respect that wish.
He
Commander,
salutes and says, "No further questions, ma'am."
Are you certain? And Bomb's looking worriedly over at Bach and says, are you sure you would want to opt out?
If you cannot carry me out of battle, then I was too weak to lead any further.
Understood, Commander. Then we will ensure that you make it back safe after each mission.
Bach falls to the back of the group, now that he has made sure his wishes will be respected.
Well, either way, the best way to ensure someone's life is to never have it be in danger at all. And, well, I as a 13 association, at least I would like to portray myself as caring about the lives a lot more than, unfortunately, the other shady offices and backstreet syndicates that have popped up as of recently. But anyway, that is, I suppose, back on topic. Any other questions before we get into the fixer contracts and the likes?
None, man.
Ready to proceed.
May shakes her head.
Then I suppose we can get the show on the road. And give me a second as I will change the scene here for a little bit. Give me a bit.
I found another shoddy door that is 10 centimeters too short.
Ashley, I promise you the door ain't doing it on purpose.
Yeah. So, oh, give me a second. The fucking music's playing double. Hold
No, you're
on.
right.
Yeah. There we are. Let me make it a little bit quieter on my end. And there we are. That is good. Anyway, Willow lays back in her seat and how would I say it? Willow leisurely lays back in her seat. She goes ahead and elaborates. Well, anyway, as we all are aware, you are all here to be hired today by the 13 office. Yippee hooray! Anyway, to reiterate the mission statement of the 13 office is a office that specializes in everything and anything lobotomy corporation, including abnormalities, speculum, distortions, and ego-related stuff. And unfortunately, Hold on, give me a second. And eco-related stuff. And I will be willing to explain all of it in case any of these terms are unfamiliar to any of you here, though you should have gotten an information brochure with all of the relevant data on it. So, with all the relevant data on it. And however, I am going to briefly state that this is dealing with a lot of very sensitive information. I'm sure all of you are aware of, well, the fall of Lobotomy Corporation and the library that seems to have been related to Lobotomy Corporation in some capacity, and a lot of people raiding old facilities for Geflin or other valuables that LobCorp may have held on to, yes? At least I presume you'd all be aware.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember reading that in the brochure.
Yeah.
I have
guess
one.
so.
I only have one question, ma'am. These ego, they have some link to psychomints, correct?
They do, yes. I do have a couple of informants who told me that people sometimes refer to ego as psychomints. To be more specific, these two terms are interchangeable and are referring to the same thing, but it is, how would I say it? It is a local lingo that have appeared in the other parts of the city. Well, what of it, Bulk?
I simply had my curiosity, ma'am. You may continue.
Alrighty. Well, yes. Psychomant, I suppose you can also add on to it, but the people of L-Corp are more familiar with the term of ego, as, well, you can imagine with people raiding these facilities and getting a hold of secrets about Lobotomy Corporation that some terms have started to spread. Of course, it's not in the public consciousness, but those who have familiarity with Lobotomy Corporation in any meaningful capacity know of these kind of things. And so, that is also part of the reason why I'm going to bring up the next point. Because we are pertaining to a lot of things dealing with the Lobotomy Corporation and the secrets that a wing used to hold, there are... Well, let's just say this is also harkening back to Seven Association. Big part of the reason why they are sponsored with me in the first place and are providing us money is because they would love information about LobCorp likewise. Now, personally, my own personal crusade/mission will be to simply make L-Corp a better place and clean up Lobotomy Corp's mess as, well, you've seen the people suffering because of it. However, I am... How should I say this? I do need to make this profitable in some capacity, hence why the sponsorship with Seven Association. They would love any kind of information pertaining to Lobotomy Corporation or any other kind of sensitive information that they can get their hands on. And so I'm going to have to... And she reaches under her desk and grabs a... How'd say it? She opens a part of her... she opens like a little part of the desk, reaches inside of it and seems to grab a few papers out from it. She pushes it forward on the desk, and if you were to look closer, she would... you would notice that she is pushing forward an NDA with the insignia of Seven Association on it, 13 office on it, and one thing you can immediately notice is the purple glint, indicating the guarantee from the UFI Association, the association known for upholding contracts and being very thorough with enforcement of those contracts if they are broken, on it with a large purple glint. And, of course, a whole bunch of jargon on the paper itself, but an NDA, or, well, non-disclosure agreement, if you're not aware, should speak for itself. And then Willow continues on, says, unfortunately, I'm going to need you all to sign this. This is, well, I unfortunately would like to push it on you, but it is a necessary precaution to take. How would you all like to respond to this being pushed onto the table?
Will look at the NDA and he is going to read every single line. I should ask, is there anything in there that would either concern or alert him to things?
I'm thinking if this is going to require a roll.
Oh, yes. If you need me to roll, I can absolutely do a roll.
Yeah, give me a second. What would fit here, actually? Maybe...
Probably int?
Yeah, I'll...
Comprehension roll! Yeah!
Yes, the first check of the entire campaign is reading comprehension.
Yay!
Can you read a NDA contract correctly? Okay, sure. Yeah, let us say this is going to be a int roll. And I suppose this will also be a little bit of a tutorial for how rolling works in the system for those who aren't aware of it. To explain for the audience, the way rolling works in the system is you get a d10 and you need to roll below a certain threshold. You are given dice according to the DM's discretion, whether how difficult or how easy the task is going to be. And you need to, with any of those dice, roll below the threshold and you succeed. If you do not roll below the threshold, you fail and are not able to succeed in the task you wanted to. In this case, it will be an intellect check, and I will say, since Willow is being rather upfront about it and is very much so clearly not beating around the bush and being very open about this kind of stuff, you will probably go ahead and receive 3 dice for this. Now, I don't know if you can actually roll while the cutscene is
We are
up.
on a cutscene.
Yeah, give me a second. I'm gonna have to briefly end the cutscene. Go ahead and roll real quick.
Oh, absolutely. I was gonna say I can roll through Google and screenshot the results for you if that would be preferred. But
Go ahead. We're just briefly stopping the cutscene so you can actually roll.
If Strange did not catch,
absolutely.
I will explain text a little better how the system works.
And you said
Okay.
4
For the
dice,
record.
correct?
You get 3 dice, yes.
Yeah, for the record, Briar
my
immediately.
Holy shit!
Free
Oh
pen?
my
Oh
god!
my god!
Oh, no way, that's
That was
real.
310.
No fucking
That's
way
real.
you rolled
That's
2
real.
natural 10s.
Ow!
Not
Wow!
We're off
Okay.
to a fantastic
You
start
can't
here at the
fucking read!
Oh my goodness fucking gracious.
She was
Okay,
like the
so chat.
natural one.
Chat, to explain to you real quick, this is the D&D equivalent of rolling a double natural 1 with advantage, basically. This is... I'm not even like
Insane.
mad. This is downright impressive, actually.
Fucking wow!
That is insane to have that be the first fucking roll of the campaign. Wow,
Bro
that
can't
is
read
nuts.
Shit, dog.
Anyway,
So, do I learn?
do
Anything.
you feel like describing your complete ineptitude to get around the legal jargon of the contract?
Get one bleed from the
Cause-
paper cut.
Absolutely. First of all, Bomb looked at the NDA, and as he's looking, he scrapes his claw against it, and then he starts reading the legal jargon. And as he's reading it, his body begins to tremble a little because he remembers the last time he had looked over a contract like this. The words begin to blur, and he starts to lean down, and mandibles emerge from his mouth as he starts to try to chew on the paper if no one pulls him back, almost like a bug, his entire body shaking. Do any of you try to stop him before he puts the paper in his mouth?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Brock's arms will come up and grab Bomb by the neck and pull him close and go, "Soldier, remember yourself. Do not."
Understood. And Bomb just kind of nods his head and then looks to both Devlin and Briar, who I believe were about to react as well.
Devlin walks up and kind of half pushes Baum out of the way and just signs his name on the NDA without reading it. And he looks
Hey, I'm
back over
supposed to
at
do
Baum
that
and goes,
first.
you know, if you were hungry, you should have just eaten the sandwich. And then he goes back to sitting on the table in the corner of the room.
As all this transpires, Willow will also react. She is completely silent as all this happens and has an expression of bewilderedness on her, but does retain her composure and, well, as Devlin, you signed the NDA, she sort of steps back to reality and says, "Oh, thank you, Devlin. Anyway," and she pulls out 5 more papers. The exact same NDA.
Thank goodness.
Yep. Yeah, Briar will go ahead and just sign it as well.
Don't worry, if you're hungry, I can always print out more, non-signed copies, so long as you, at least sign a copy.
I'm good. And is Bach still holding on to Bomb at this moment?
Yeah, Bach has a cold metallic pincer on the back of Bomb's neck, like he's almost like he's holding a rabid dog by the collar for a moment, and his gaze is cold, and once he sees the mandibles retreat from Bomb's mouth, only then will he let go.
Thank you, Commander. I shall keep a hold of myself, and Bomb will sign the paper, not attempting to read over the terms and conditions.
Alrighty. Is everyone else going to sign the paper as well, or would anyone else like to also try to get a thorough read on it?
Ashley is gonna, stare a little far too long at the paper for a moment. Her eyes are fixed on the Ufi Association, and her gaze is almost melancholic before she snaps out of it and tries to read at least the end of it, which is usually where the contract states when this contract is effectively nil or nullified or broken. Or, yeah, Do I have to roll for this, or can I just say that for flair, she just does this?
I would say since it's we could say since it's you're focusing on a specific part, it is going to be more easily processable. I would say int roll, but you get 4 dice since you're focusing on the specific part, and also Willow is being rather open about this.
Okay, so there is stuff here, huh? Okay, I need to leave this cutscene to roll.
Oh, right, give me a second. Here you go, Pookie.
May I just have Bach make a int roll at the same time just to speed it up?
Sure, go ahead.
Thank you.
Briar already signed.
I have max roll. If I fail this.
Okay, there we go.
Here we go. I only one succeeded.
Goodness me.
Can Minnie try also intelligence rolling, but not to understand what the text is, just to see if she can read out all the words, all the hard mumbo jumbo?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yay! How many dice?
Let's see if you're a smart cookie, pal. What is your level of education? Let's establish that first, buddy.
I don't think I passed middle school.
You'll be receiving 2 dice.
Okay. It's the one okay. Oh wait, no.
That is a 1d2, pal.
No, that's a coin.
Yeah, that's a coin.
I'm sorry, it's been a while. Yeah, I thought. I was close. I was really close.
You were actually very, very close. Wow. Unfortunately, how would you say it? Unfortunately, writing is not your strong suit. Alright, well, anyway, hold on, let me get back to the cutscene that I've had to end twice now before. I should have maybe thought this through, but anyway. Okay, so Bok and Ashley, as you read through... So first of all, I will go ahead and describe, like, what Ashley specifically focusing on, and since Bok didn't really clarify what he would focus on, I'll just give, like, a bit of information about the whole contract as a whole. A bit of, like, baseline information about the contract. To be specific about the expiry date on this contract, it is... how would you say it? What is the correct word for it? The expiry date of this contract is indefinite. This is basically until you die, or how would you say it? Clarification, it is until you die or until Seven Association or UFI Association gives the go-ahead that this is public information that is allowed to be discussed and is entirely up to their discretion. As for, how would you say it? As for Bulk generally just doing a summary glance over the whole contract, it seems to... It uses a lot of, like, legal jargon, but it specifies onto the things that are not meant to be discussed. How would you say it's not meant to be discussed? It goes over... it uses very vague terminology, and it almost feels as if the people writing this contract, like, had to dance around what exactly is in the Lobcon facilities that they don't want you to talk about. But they describe...
They don't want the NDA to be an NDA breach.
Yes, exactly, basically. They describe any amount of anomalous material that isn't an abnormality, peculum, distortion, or an ego or ego gear, or anything pertaining to the bot, or anything like that. They go into details, saying anything that isn't classified as these four things are not allowed to be discussed out in the open. And then they go on a whole tangent, giving a very concrete and incredibly precise, or no, very concrete and very broad definition of the terms abnormalities, ego, peculums, distortions. And also do briefly mention that Psychoment also falls under this, as it is a different lingo for ego. And so that is what you are able to parse from this NDA.
Bok turns to Bomb and just gives, he can't really nod, but the eye goes up and down to show that there's nothing in there that flags Bok as particularly flagrant, as he looks to Willow and, very slowly takes the pen, and it takes him a long moment to sign Bok, and it looks like a child with a crayon, as he does not have the fine motor dexterity skills to do any more than roughly block out the letters of his name.
Mm-hmm.
And Bomb just seems to look relieved at the confirmation from his commander.
I see. Would Ashi like to react in any capacity? Or wait, did you already react? Or am I
No.
Oh,
No.
well... Okay, fair enough.
Ashley is gonna, after revising the paper again and again and again, she will start looking at Will a little bit differently. A little bit more as if assessing how much of a problem this may become and how much of a field trip she's signing up for, you know? Like, how much trouble is this going to be worth for? And before she signs, she says she's going to put the paper down and sign and go, I must say this to you earnestly, Miss Willow.
Yes.
That while I will be contracted under you, you should not mistake it for servitude, for I belong to another, and I will not be cooperative until you can prove to me that you can hold your own ground. But it is also not the first time that I've dealt with the Ophi Association, and therefore I am somewhat comfortable with making this shoddy decision, as one would say. And she signs off the paper.
I see.
you will have my word and most loyal services, but my respect will be earned. That is all I wish to say to you. And she's going to step away from the table after she signs. To the same 10 centimeter too short window. Why?
Well, as you step away, she speaks up and says, well, I suppose that is a fair concern to have, and I don't see a reason to blame you to be distrustful. After all, I don't like putting an NDA on the table immediately, but it is unfortunately part of the work. But I suppose if it gives you any reassurance, I never intended to treat you as someone lower than me or as a servant or anything of the likes. Anyone I come across and anyone who works for me, I intend to treat as an equal to me. So, I can give that guarantee at the very least, if that eases your worries, Ashley.
Bigger worries. Don't worry.
Alright, then I won't worry about it. I presume, out of character, everyone has signed the NDA at this point, right?
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah.
so.
Alrighty then.
All right.
Just wanted to confirm that quickly before moving on to the next scene. Anyway, it is then when Willow goes ahead and gathers the papers up and, like, how would you say it, puts them together, briefly, like, how would you say it? You know when you, like, tap a stack of papers on the desk to, like, sort them out and, like, put them neatly together? That is basically what she does. You hear the little clacks of the paper on the wooden desk as she stores it in one of the shelves on her desk, and she clears her throat. Well, alright. It seems like we get to get to the juicy parts now. Sorry about that, but I unfortunately needed to put that immediately on the table for... Well, we can't even begin the first mission without that being signed. Now, I did describe before that generally we are cleaning up lobotomy course mess. And, well, while that is my personal mission and what I would like to achieve with 13 Office, or well, 13 Office, the actual objective of this, well, first mission that we're going to be going on is not finding just any Kevling box that Lobotomy Corp might be holding on to or dealing with some abnormalities. While yes, it is our job to deal with abnormalities and make sure they aren't a threat anymore and hand them over to 7 Association for them to process it and make sure they are no longer a threat. The primary objective, and what is going to get us on the payroll, is this. As she goes ahead, and you might have noticed, in the back of the room, there was a tiny little vault off in the corner that had a nice little flower vase on it. She gets up from her chair, goes over to the vault, hunches over it a little bit to make sure that none of you actually see the vault combination. And from it, seems to grab something incandescently bright. It almost, how would I say it? It is almost way too bright to even put your eyes upon, but after a bit of adjusting, it is alright to look at. She plops it down on the table and you're able to get a better look at it. This, well, the collection of this is her main objective. As she puts down, hold on, give me a second. As she puts this down on the table, and some of you have had familiarity with this before and have seen this before.
Oh. I have
Would
that.
any of you be particularly inclined to react to this?
Briar just says, "Oh, it's the branch of calming down." It really feels nice when I held it before.
The branch. There was one of those, and Bomb looks around at all of you and says, you all remember, and then trails off as he remembers Devlin was not present for that mission, and says, I assume Ashley filled you in. That branch, the one from before, the very nice feeling.
Yes, the branch of calming down.
It
That's
was
good.
that damn
Yeah.
stick I told you about that they decided to sacrifice the entire mission on, Devlin.
So it's like a stick with it calms you down when you hold it.
Like a cigar,
Yeah.
somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
held
it's
it. I
really
held
good
it
at
really
calming you
close.
Well, I
Yeah.
wouldn't really call it a cigar. In fact, that'll be very counterintuitive to our objectives here if you were to smoke this thing. I personally wouldn't recommend it. But it seems like a
Well.
couple of you are familiar with
She
it.
just smirks.
Am I correct in that assessment?
Oh, yes, you see, there was a mission prior to this that all of us, but Devlin, Devlin got a little caught up with, Mom just kind of gestures at Devlin's, the
Everything.
marks from everything, at Devlin's everything. Yes, there was a, one of these things there, the calming thing, and Bump just kind of like flounders as if like looking to see if any of the others have
Yes,
anything more
yes.
to supply regarding their knowledge of it.
Yeah, you guys actually, you guys were defeated, so we were forced to concede the branch. Unfortunately, as much as Ashley kind of didn't want me to surrender it, it was necessary so that I don't lose any of my friends. You know.
Huh.
I really tried to avoid confrontation back then, but I kind of failed. We ended up in a fight with someone.
Huh.
You
So
you
You
did
even get one of
your
these damn
best.
things.
it is actually, if you don't mind, Willow is going to speak up here and say, so if I am to assume correctly, you've had a experience with the Golden Bow before on a previous mission of yours?
Yes,
Are you not?
the
Did Bond not report to you at all the result of the mission? Last mission.
What was I the one in charge of reporting it? I
stick of
I-
calming.
Bomb just kind of looks around and looks at Bach and sort of whispers to him and goes, Commander.
We were not formally contracted to this office beforehand. And I hope you would understand, Willow, the details of our meeting and previous affiliations were not in the NDA we signed, nor are you necessarily entitled to the specific history of our previous contract with a previous individual. Bach's voice like drops, and there is a wariness now that he sees this object in Willow's possession, as he is, even in his addled, scratchy brain, he's beginning to put two and two together and goes, "It is a shame that the Golden Bow we found deep in that facility was lost to us. How convenient that all of us then received an invitation to be hired at this office, to which one appears in your possession. How very deeply convenient of you, Miss Willow, Fixer of Justice."
Actually, he's also gonna frown whenever Buck does bring this up, like, oh yeah,
I suppose that is convenient as well. You know, I actually have a personal theory about all of this, so I'm kind of not that surprised. I have this friend within the Seven Association, actually, and she goes ahead and, like, after, leaning forward from the chair of being rather surprised that you all know of this from a previous mission you had together, she goes ahead and leans back in her chair and has a leisurely attitude to herself. there's this. Well, since let's just say, part of the reason I have a sponsorship with the Seven Association is because I have some friends in the Seven Association that are curious into studying the Golden Bows alongside a running theory that a particular friend of mine has. What was her name again? Danso. Yeah, let's just call her Danso. The friend of mine, Danso, had this one theory about the Golden Bows. Well, since you signed the NDA, I'm free to talk about it. The Golden Bows, as we understand, is a phenomenon that appeared after the library, and is a fraction, or is believed to be a fraction, of what was seen during the 3 days of bright light and 4 days of, well, complete and utter darkness, and then also the light that the library shone, which was also very similar. We believe it is a fragment of that, and, well, we don't have a way to prove it, but these fragments of light, my friend has a theory that through one way or another, they seem to all be intrinsically connected to one another. They have this way of shaping the narrative around them to connect Golden Bows together, and eventually, how would you say it? Eventually, if you come across one Golden Bow, it'll naturally lead the world around you to meet other Golden Bows. It is a weird theory that I can't give much credence to, but something that I thought was worth mentioning, considering it is probably, well, it could be summed up to coincidence that you all had experience with the Golden Bow before, but there is a working theory behind it as to why you're once again finding yourself working with this phenomenon. Just thought I'd add to that.
You hired the guy that beat us up? Ashley's just gonna ask immediately.
Could you repeat that?
Did you hire the guy that beat us up for this damn stick?
No, I know literally nothing of what guy you, had to fight during your mission.
I
That's a
see.
lot
So
of
we already
words
have
for a calming
competition.
stick.
Yeah, Buck, you get the sense he wants to cross his arms, but the joints don't quite meet. But then, after a moment, all the tension kind of leaves him, and he looks a little starry-eyed, and then he sort of snaps back to reality, and he goes, "That stick is very warm and bright. I would like to acquire more of them."
Yeah, I know, right?
Well,
It
you're
really
in
was.
Well, you're in luck, because that is exactly what the Seven Association would like us to do. It is going to be within our possession for the most part, but they would like to occasionally use it to study these phenomena further and further their understanding about it. As far as I'm aware, since I can now openly talk about it thanks to the NDA, this is a recent phenomenon that happened for about, my friend in the Seven Association estimates for about 2.5 years to about 2 years ago. That is when they started appearing. Basically, whenever the fall of the library happened. And, we don't know much of them right now, but we are hoping to gather more information about them. Personally, I would also like to gather them as, yes, they do give off a nice bright light and seem to almost be on the level of a singularity with the feelings and thoughts they evoke upon just merely witnessing one of them or even touching one of them. So, in my personal interest, I'd like to collect these, as they might be beneficial in one way or another to help L-Corp as a whole from its suffering or another. At the very least, I don't want this to fall within the wrong hands, and it seems like you all in particular, came across one of the possibly many unsavory syndicates that are also vying to get control over these things. Well, of course, not everyone is aware of it, but you get the gist, right?
I do. but a question for you, Miss Willow.
But of course.
You keep saying you wish to alleviate the suffering of L-Corp, but this wing still sits without a corporation or a nest. Do you mean to say that your office seeks to champion a new corporation to take L-Corp's spot?
I wouldn't say that my office necessarily seeks to take L-Corp's spot. Well, if there's anything I'd like to take, I'd like to become the 13th official association of the city, pertaining to anything and everything to abnormalities and pecatunims and distortions, as this is not just a phenomenon in L-Corp, but it seems to have become a phenomenon across the entire city, at least according to the informants that I have. So no, I don't want to become a wing, but I do generally care about the hometown I grew up in and would like to see it be better than what it currently is. Truth be told, it kind of makes me depressed whenever I have to look outside and see how much of a shit show it is out there. And in spite of Willow's usually very cheery attitude and disposition, she opens up her eyes and looks on the side, and there is a distinct impression of a larger sadness behind that eyes that you can't quite ascertain as to what it is exactly about, but you do notice it. Before she very much so quickly reverts back to her usual cheery self, almost as if in complete fucking whiplash of the vulnerability that she just showed, and speaks up and says, well, anyway, that is as far as my ambitions go. Any questions?
You were born in this corporation. Or this nest, rather.
Yeah, well, to be more specific, I was born into the back streets. Never really got to get a taste of the nest, but not so much different from the back streets these days.
Then you have lived through 2 wings falling in your lifetime. My deepest condolences.
I wouldn't offer condolences to me, Dot. Offer condolences to all the people who have to suffer through all of that. Turbulent times these, and, well, I want to provide a little bit of stability to the people at least here who are under the protection of the Zwei and 7 Association. And who knows? Maybe one day we ourselves can become an official association and enact justice upon those evil, wretched pecatunims, distortions, and abnormalities harassing the people of L-Corp.
Buck falls quiet. His question has been answered, though there is this lingering coldness when the old L-Corp is brought up, like the wistfulness of someone who had wished that the very old L-Corp had never fallen in the first place. But his question has been answered, and he seems to step back.
Any other questions?
Well, what's our first mission?
Right! I suppose we shall get straight to that. As she goes ahead and puts the golden bowl away, once again going over to the safe, and safely storing it away once again within the safe and its safe premises. Pun unintended there, that was a complete accident. And she goes back over to her chair and leans forward. Right, as for the first mission, now we can actually get to the juicy parts. The real juicy parts. So, anyway, as you all are aware, the Botany Corp, well, they have quite a bit of trash left over from when they fell. You know, mainly what they seem to have been responsible for the library, and there's also the main headquarters of LobCorp that are still festering with a whole bunch of abnormalities. But our objective is going to start small and simple today. We are going to be going to a small little offshoot, you could say, small little branch more specifically a training facility of Lobotomy Corp that was separate from the main HQ, where agents would go to get their first baby steps experience with the Abnormalities before dealing with, how would you say it, the tough guy pool, the getting out of the kiddie pool and going into the actual pool in the proper HQ, or some other branch that isn't just a training facility branch. And according to my sources, the Seven Association, a golden bow has apparently been estimated to be located within this particular training facility branch. I already have the address myself, so I will be leading you all to it. But the idea for the first mission is to retrieve a golden bow, which is said to be at the very bottom of a three-floor building. You know, going downwards into the ground and all that. We are expected to retrieve the golden bow, and alongside the way, retrieve anything that is pertaining to Lobotomy Corporation. That being taking down abnormalities, returning them to their egg forms, bringing them back to Seven Association, and of course retrieving any kind of enkephalin or ego gear, or anything else that seems of interest that we can bring back for Seven Association to study and get results back on.
Ma'am, a question.
Yes?
This ego gear. On our previous mission, we did recover some, but the group we were contracted to requested we hand over all the items we recovered. Any ego gear we happen to find, are we allowed to keep what we find, or do we need to hand it all over to you and to the Seven?
Well, the Seven would like to briefly assess it, but generally the deal I've going on with the Seven is that we are able to keep it for our own purposes. It helps us along with other missions in the future, and they basically agreed, yeah, we can keep him, since it helps us.
Understood,
Would have
ma'am.
wanted to keep those petal eggs, but they got it. Unfortunate.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Briar, I don't think they're gonna let us keep the eggs. Ma'am, we're not allowed to keep the eggs, correct?
Yeah, the eggs, no, we are handing that over to Seven Association. Our job is to take out the abnormalities, return them to their egg forms, and before they hatch, send them over to the Seven for them to deal with that problem. Because, as you may notice, and she broadly gestures with a grand bravado, we have no room to contain abnormalities with.
Understood.
They
And
don't
Bomb
stay
looks-
as eggs.
What did you say? Could you repeat?
They don't stay as eggs. Just wait.
Oh, right. Sorry. I guess I should clarify a bit for people that might not know. Sorry, I'm a bit of a dunce when it comes to this and expect everyone to be on the same level of knowledge as I am. Anyway, yeah, I have a bit of experience with these abnormality fellas. The way they work is whenever you beat them up, they don't actually die. Truth to be told, these abnormalities are kind of, how would you say it, nigh immortal? I think it's the most apt way to put it. Once they are beat up, they seem to return to an egg-like form. Sort of the incubation state or what have you. Where for a certain amount of time they will stay in that, usually depending on the rank of the abnormality or some other factors about it, but usually we can guarantee that they stay in their egg form for about a day or so, or half a day, depending on factors. But if that time passes over, they will eventually come back and, well, you can imagine that if we have an egg here, it'll literally just manifest straight up in its office room.
Yes, that would be really bad. And Bomb does look very relieved at the fact of Briar not being allowed to keep monsters, as he has a horrible vision of how that could go in his head.
Unfortunate. The ones that we saw, they look pretty.
What was that?
Unfortunately, the one that we encountered were pretty, weren't they? They were playing music even.
They were pretty, I suppose, is a word you could definitely use to describe them.
Well,
Yes.
either way, I suppose does anyone have any questions pertaining to the mission itself before we properly get into it? I will, of
Yes.
course, be joining in on the mission as well. Also, yes, Ashley, speak up.
How are we to send them over to Seven Association?
Yep, that is going to be the intention with the eggs.
How? We're just holding eggs and we're handing them over?
Yep. Well, I do
Okay.
have a dimensional bag that I could use, and I was intending to store the eggs in. But,
Okay.
I mean, that's not gonna
Um,
last.
I
Prefer...
Uh, I. That's. I. Ashley is just getting nervous, like trying to think of every possible combination of what happens if you actually put something that isn't like machinery inside of a dimensional case. The, she's lost in thought.
I mean, if you'd like, you could try to roll for it and see what you think the answer might be.
The answer might be to what?
No, I would say, like, you could just, like, let's say you could just roll intellect to see.
You
If
want
you'll
to
be
roll for my
confident.
inner thoughts?
I don't know. Do you want to roleplay as you being aware or not aware?
That's such a good question. Honestly,
Yes.
this is just flair. Like, Ashley is trying to figure out how exactly is this working, if it is to work at all. Like, as a dimensional case going inside an egg going inside a dimensional case. You see, even I'm mixed up.
There is some joke to be made about a chicken and an egg and which one came first, I think. But yeah.
Alright, so I guess we're going.
Willow speaks up and says, well, yeah, we are transporting them via dimensional bags, but so long as we're quick about it, it hopefully shouldn't be an issue, and hopefully they should explode on us with the dimensional bag. But it'll be fine. The Seven Association headquarters are relatively close by from here, as you can probably ascertain from the high amount of SWI policing around this place. They really want to keep the Seven safe while they are out here doing their investigator's job in L-Corp. So yeah. Other than that, I will be joining in on the mission as well, as a sort of guide, you could say, to of course, well, physically aid in the suppression of abnormalities, but to also provide some knowledge on abnormalities and how to deal with them. Don't know if you know, but a lot of them usually have their very own personalized way of dealing with them that are more than just beating the shit out of them, so to say.
Bach's hand goes up.
Yes, Mock?
May I inquire into your fixer rank, ma'am?
But of course, my fixer rank would be 6. Rank 6.
Bach nods his head. He seems to do a little bit of mental math and goes, exceptional. Apologies. I did not mean to question your competency. I simply wished to make sure how big the gap was between us and you, ma'am. No further questions. And he gives a salute.
Alright. Well, I mean, it's perfectly fine to be questionable my competency, as, well, you can imagine that you don't often meet fixers as jovial and as open as a book as I am. Admittedly, a lot of people do end up underestimating me, but let's say they tend to learn their lesson quite quickly. And she pats the little man catcher she has. Once again, very ominously, once again, very sharp contrast between how jovially she projects herself as, and this quite incredibly spiky man catcher that looks to be very painful if you get caught in it. Well, anyway, shall we get going? I know the address of the place, and it is relatively close by, all things considered. It is still under the jurisdiction of the Sawai Association's patrol, so hopefully we shouldn't come across any stray syndicate, or heck, wing forbid, a finger member. But is everyone ready for the mission?
Yes,
Ready,
of
Nam?
course.
At the mention of the Spy Association, Devin lets out like an exasperated groan and then just goes, "All right, let's just get it over with."
Alrighty. Then let us get our journey started. And I will go ahead and briefly... Oh, did you want to say something, Sina?
Oh, no. I just saw Devlin walk out the door. That's all.
Fair enough. I will be transitioning to a scene here, just to be brief about it. It is going to be an intermissionary scene before we actually get to the proper scene of it. Give me a second. Let me open up scenes. What the Or am I on the wrong? I'm on the wrong thing.
It just leaves.
Give me a second. We'll be going back to the intermission little segment over here, where... Give me a second. I'll also put Willow beside as well. I will give a... Let me also briefly change the music while we're at it, since this is a completely different scene. This should be fine. Give me a second. Let me once again offer to the other one, because it for some reason doesn't feel like playing. There we are. So, yes. Give me a second. Okay. So, as you all make your way, this is me just basically describing the scenery until you actually reach the point, because that's the Lobcore facility, just FYI, it is a full map. This is a little bit of an intermediary scene, just describing the scenery, if you will. As you make your way through the back streets of L-Corp, a lot of it is under the jurisdiction of the Sawai Association. At least every street you come across, there will at least be one or two Sawai Association members. My bad. There will be at least one or two Sawai Association members patrolling the streets wherever you go. You notice every now and then also from the alleyways and the more shadowy parts of the back streets that there are rats hiding in the back streets and making use of the Sawai Association's mere presence. But anytime a Sawai officer comes close to an alleyway, they seem to scurry away. You also notice a handful of people on your journey every now and then that look to be affiliated with syndicates. Or at least their attire would feel as though they would be associated with syndicates and the likes. And they seem to be on a rush. They rush their movements whenever they're in the streets, very much so stressed by the fact that they might get caught by a Sawai officer. Yet, even with all the protection, there are still outcroppings of syndicates and unsavory people that make their ways in and amongst the back streets. You also come across a small scene of a couple Sawai officers requesting money from some of the people here living in the back streets. Protection service. What you can gather from it, or at least over here a bit of the conversation, is they are asking about protection services and about fundraising, as the Sawai services seem to be dependent on how much money the local communities here can raise for them to keep upholding their duties and keep the streets safe. But eventually you do make your way over to the Lobcorp, over to the facility. Also, in case anyone wants to briefly, react to any of this, feel free to mention. But if not, then I'm just going to, go on ahead and get to the actual map. Would everyone be alright with that? Or...
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Briar just he keeps her head, you know. Briar just keeps her head low, trying to like appear as small as possible, which is kind of impossible because of her stature, because of the brush that she had with the brief brush that she had with the Zwei Association. But she still does her best.
Fair enough, fair enough. And on the way there, how would you say it? On the way there, Widow will elaborate, saying, so, about this facility, I know that there are two entrances to it per se. There's the main front entrance, which we'll be taking, and as I've been told by the 7th Association, there's also a secret other entrance that is used for emergency exits. This one, I'm not quite sure where it is, as it is, as well, Lobotomy Corp kept those things very secretive, but there is one implied to exist somewhere, but we'll be taking the front doors. So, I'll say brace yourself for anything that might be immediately there to greet us, whether that be abnormalities, rats living there, or even Pectudums.
What's
I'm
our
gonna go in
stand?
first. Whoa.
Okay, one at a time, please. Casco, go.
Well, I can always go in first and put on a little show for him if you want, so the rest of you can get in without having to worry about it.
I suppose that will be helpful, yes. And also out of character, Briar, what did you want to say?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, we dealt with them before, yes.
I see, I see. Well, then let us make haste. And give me a bit as I will be loading the next scene. Also, hold on, I might need to make a copy of this next scene. Give me a second. Because I was briefly walking around through it and I might actually have stayed there, make a copy. We are going to view scene. Hold on, what is the scene like? Okay. Give me a second. We are going to activate the scene. You should be seeing a black screen. Okay, there we go. Give me a second as I put your tokens down on this lovely little map. I will be putting you down randomly. Give me a second. Oh, once again, Ashi, you're going to have to change your thingy up.
Why does mine keep breaking?
I don't know, probably because you didn't decide to the actor thingy. And so here you are at the lobotomy, at the training facility. You find yourself within the, at the front doors of it. I would say don't move just quite yet. If you move, and you trigger an enemy, I will be instantly starting a combat encounter, just so you know. But yeah, to give a brief description of what the map is like so far, you are greeted with what looks to be a rather dilapidated and torn down training facility. The front windows of it are basically broken and a lot of the building is dilapidated. Through the glass windows that you can see, you are instantly greeted with what seems to be a receptionist room and a cafeteria of sorts, or a break lounge. And also, something you instantly notice through the seams of the shattered glass is that there are weird bubbly shaped creatures roaming about. Weird blue bubbly shaped creatures. They always slosh about as if they are liquid itself manifested onto the physical plane, basically. And how to say it? Let's see. Let's pick someone who's up front. Let's pick someone who's first to see. Ashi, let's say that you are the first one to notice all of this. How would you like to react to this?
I don't react to this at all.
Okay. Would anyone else like to have a word about the scenery that is in front of you?
Ashley is most
well-
observing.
Yeah, Bach will wander up, like, and gently... He won't push by Ashley, but he will say, permission to take the front, Ashley.
All yours, friend Bach.
Bach nods with his whole body. Like, you hear the groaning, and you think he's actually going to face plant full onto his face as he, like, bends at the hip, and you see his entire center of gravity begin to turn before he manages to right himself. And he's going to look in, and when he spies one of these creatures, Bach is going to use a story ability.
Ooh, do elaborate.
Bach is going to use Quick Assessment.
Ooh, you may have at any time perform certain analysis of current or potential enemy. DM describes the core of target's fighting style or gimmicks such as dismount and focus on large singular strikes. Okay. Made sure. Okay, well, fair enough. You take a... You hone in on your... How to say it? You hone in on the experience... On your veteran experience with handling this kind of stuff. You have assessed enemies before, and you know that the best way to go into battle is to, first of all, immediately assess the opponent and understand the threat that they could possibly pose to you. From what you can assess of the enemies, they seem to be very weak little creatures. They walk around, well, bounce around almost very sluggishly. Very sluggishly and almost drooping across the ground and the floor that they are walking across. Though, you can ascertain, you can ascertain that these things probably like fighting in groups to make up for their small stature. And already you having vision on quite a few of them already, you could safely, infer that there are probably more of these droopy little things, like amok about the building in places you can't see at the moment. That is what you were able to assess.
Bach turns, and despite the fact that that haze is still over that mechanical gray eye, it does look around and goes, assessment. Small combatants. Not particularly dangerous on their own, but may pose a significant obstacle in groups. Getting around them may not be easy. They probably infest the building. More of them will probably appear, especially at the sound of fighting. If we are going to engage in them, we should try and engage in them in small, controlled groups.
I don't know, man. They don't look that tough.
Bach turns, and there is this weight to his words as he goes, I promise you, no matter how strong you are, enough tiny little things slipping past your defenses will tear inches off your skin until there is no skin remaining. Take it from an expert.
Also, in the meanwhile, while this conversation is going on, these fellas are moving about the building sluggishly. They seem to have no discernible rhyme or reason as to their movements, but yet they move around anyway, going from spaces to spaces and almost aimlessly walking about. You can't really discern what they're looking for, but it almost seems like mindless little creatures. Anyway, feel free to go ahead.
Bach will turn to everyone and goes, if we wish to, we should make a decision immediately. I suggest that we engage them in a small group. If we have some way to maybe lure a group of them to one area, we might be able to engage and take them out. Getting past them isn't a good idea in case that if we are trapped in a combat later, we would be pincered in between two endings. The only smart tactical decision is to take them out in controlled, focus groups.
Yeah, but you said they were attracted to noise, right?
They seem to be, which means that we would have to move swiftly.
Why not just hit them here?
Yeah, I was going to say, friend Bach, we have a funnel right at the entrance. How convenient for us.
Very well. Then I suggest that we prepare ourselves for combat. Willow, we are to engage in our first combat as a group.
Yes, I have been letting you take the reins. Kind of just assessing assessing at the moment how you think of things. Honestly, quite sound strategy. I would also add that I do have a little bit of experience with Pectulums and know a little bit knowledge about these guys. These guys, yeah, they're kind of weak, but do note that they will have a... How would you say it? Let's say that M-Corp Moonstones will be very helpful right now, as these guys attack the mind, the mental space of a person. If you get attacked by them, you'll probably feel a weird sensation in your mind, almost as if it's slowly but surely deteriorating. Though, it should be nothing permanent.
Have a question, mechanical out of context.
Yes, do ask.
The plan, can we break the, like, this entrance has a window cone thing, a half circle, can we crack it open so that we can essentially use, this entire entrance as a funnel?
You wanna break the glass, or what do you mean?
Yes, and because right now we only have, like, this 2-spot thing.
Yes.
You can kind of see it. If we break the glass, we can have, 4 spots in the entrance. So I'm asking if we can break the glass as a part of the plan.
You can, yeah. And I will say that you are able to freely traverse through it if you break the glass. I will explicitly say this is going to come off with a payoff that you are immediately alerting the enemies to your immediate presence.
We gotta take them out in small controlled groups. We bring the ones here to us, we take them out, we clear this area, we now have a safe zone to retreat to if anything goes wrong. Bach will nod.
Alrighty then.
So, Ashley's gonna ask permission to engage.
Permission granted, Miss Willow. Let us take down these villains of injustice.
Do I get an attack?
I will say glass is easy enough to break as is. That is also why I'm explicitly saying, like, yeah, the trade-off is going to be this.
I'm not aiming for only the glass.
Oh, do elaborate.
I want to shoot the blob over there, the only visible target we have right now, to draw attention to it as we break the glass.
Oh, okay.
Do you see my plan?
I do see your plan. Yeah, you are being... I see you mid-maxing there a little bit. I see you mid-maxing. Yeah, I think I'll allow that, actually. Sure. Would this be a skill check? I'm thinking whether this is going to be unopposed or it is going to be a skill check of some kind. I'll say... Sure, you can do it, but you're...
Shoot that thing, like, I'm asking if I can shoot that thing with an attack.
You can,
with
yes.
A skill that's going to start combat, but also through the glass so that it breaks the glass and alerts everything.
Yeah, you can do that both at once, I'd say. I'll treat this as a completely unopposed attack, and it is going to spend your action for the first round. I'll say that much, because you are initiating the fight.
Very well, that's fair.
Okay.
So Ashley's gonna pull out her personal firearm, which appears to be a power tool. Like a drill, a handheld drill, except for anybody familiar with firearms, they would recognize that it has very clearly a barrel and the mechanical functions of an actual revolver. And she is going to aim very carefully at the only visible, only visible Pecatulum? Is that what you call them?
Yep. Back to them.
And she's going to shoot.
Go ahead. Alrighty. So that... Yeah, I will go ahead and describe the action first and foremost. Also, why is the help bar not showing up again? God fucking damn it. Anyway, brief description. Yeah, you shoot... actually, I'll pause the music to make it more dramatic. You shoot through the glass. First of all, is the sound of... Now, I don't exactly know how loud this nail gun is. Would you like to describe how loud the nail gun is, first and foremost? If it, like...
The
if it's
nail
like...
gun is surprisingly not as loud as a firearm. It sounds somewhat like it. You can hear the slightest hint of a little bit of T-Corp technology in there.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
the nail shoots out at incredible fucking speeds through the glass into the hitting the thing in the Pecatula. And she fires twice. So after breaking the glass, while the pieces are still falling, she also shoots again.
Alrighty then. Also, sorry if you're gonna hear background noise, but let me describe your action for you. So, you shoot through the glass, and this makeshift nail gun of yours that is almost a just straight up firearm. First of all, you notice it gets an eyebrow raised from Willow, who is probably concerned about the legality of this thing that you are carrying around, considering gun laws in the city. But that is immediately overshadowed by the insanely hard and loud sounds of glass straight up shattering in front of you and disturbing the silence of the entire area. It shoots and it hits its mark straight to the speculum as it deals a considerable amount of damage to it. Give me a second. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab, I think. There we go. Give me a second. As you will be dealing, let me see. You are first of all dealing 5 pierce damage, which is going to be 8 pierce damage actually, because these guys are pierce fatal by a magnitude of 3. So that brings his HP down from 40 to 32. That guy has 2 Tremor on him now. And you'll be dealing another 8 damage, bringing its HP down to 24. Also, 10 stagger damage. And an immediate Tremor burst. Hold on, give me a second. Immediate Tremor burst to deal 2 more stagger damage. This thing, it makes a weird gurgling noise that you could describe almost as sounding like pain, but you can't exactly ascertain if it truly is. It at least sounds like pain, but it makes a sort of groaned gurgling noise. It's very sharp groaned gurgling noise, as if it's underwater and trying to scream out, as it was sort of walking to, it was walking through this hallway. It was faced away from you, but its attention instantly turns towards you, and it seems to almost await a... Well, you can't, of course, read this thing's facial expressions or body language, but from what little you can ascertain of back to the body language, this guy seems to be taking a very defensive stance towards you and seems to be getting ready for combat. And we will now instantly be beginning combat because of that. As you notice that some of the other Bactulum around that you have vision on also start to shift and move over to the sound, to the location of the sound. As we will now be beginning combat. Give me a second. Let me adjust the music because for some reason it doesn't like to play double. There we go. Let me put this down a little bit. There we go. And we shall now begin combat. Begin encounter. Hold on. Give me a second. I forgot exactly how this works. Hold on. Enter counter. I think you need to... Alright, please add yourself to the initiative, if you will. While I go ahead and I am going to add all the enemies to the initiative likewise. So give me a little bit here. Hold on. You shall be added to initiative. 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 You as well. You as well. And, of course, Widow. There are more, but I'm going to keep them hidden, as you will only be able to ascertain the ones you have right now. And let me roll for all of the things. There we go. Meaty, would you also like to roll for yourself?
Yeah, hold on.
Don't worry, take your time.
Yeah. 1 second, I'm so
hold my
sorry.
token. Get the thing.
Alrighty.
Where is it
If
again?
you're having struggles, we can aid you in that, by the way. You need to
Oh,
right-click
okay.
on your token and click on the shield and sword thingy.
No,
Yeah, I need to roll
The
the
two
thing.
swords at the top right of your screen, click on that, and then click on the die next to your character.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yes. There we go, okay.
Really?
First up on the docket would be Baum. What would you like to do in this combat scenario?
Absolutely. I should ask, I do not believe there is movement in this system, correct?
Yeah, there's no movement. That is what I was going to elaborate on. I will say the rule as is right now is I'll say you are able to move across one zone for completely free. But if you want to travel 2 zones, you're gonna need to spend a speed die. So, for example, if you want to move into the... Like, from where you are, let's say you are outside, that is a zone in of itself. From the outside, you can move either to the cafeteria or you can move to the receptionist room. And from there, if anyone else is within your zone, you can attack them. So say you move to the
Understood.
receptionist zone and the Gloombacktoolum is over in the receptionist area, you know, the one that just got hurt. You could go ahead and attack it. Or, you know, move over to the cafeteria and deal with the other 2.
Am I able, I see this one here, am I able to hit that one on this turn, or can I only move to that one?
You can attack that one on this turn, I'll say yes.
Absolutely. In that case, before he moves, Bomb will look to Bach and say, Commander, awaiting instructions. Shall I move ahead?
Bach seems to be a little frazzled as combat begins. His tiny legs are looking back and forth, and he hasn't fully clicked in yet. However, there is enough of him present to point and goes, eliminate the hostile companion. The combatant, yes.
Understood, Commander. And you all see as Bomb's legs basically extend, and he will shoot forward.
Yeah, sorry, there's a
leave a
wall
little
over there. You're
token.
gonna have to go around.
Thank you. He will shoot forward towards that combatant and
Mhm.
will use do Skitter Strike.
Okay, go right ahead, as this guy is also going to declare his own moves and see how it is going to respond to you. It is going to use a... Let me see here what they have access to. It is going to use a skill called Splash. So they are going to go ahead and roll that. They roll a 3 and a 9 compared to your 9 and a 2. Would you like to describe your actions for yourself, or would you like me to describe how clashing goes?
Oh, if you would like to describe how it goes, feel free. That said, I'm quickly going to put my feet in here because I do get to re-roll twice that first die.
Right. Let me
That's
focus
a
on the
9
chat.
still.
Okay. So that would be a 9 against a 3 and then a 9 against a 2. You slash across you rend across this small little Gloombacktoolum across its basically the length of its small little body as it reels back in pain and takes 9 slashing damage, bringing it down to 15 HP. And 9 stagger damage, bringing it down to 4 stagger. And, hold on, do you inflict anything with that? You inflict 2
Inflict
sinking.
2 sinking as these mantis-like
course.
claws bear down upon the creature.
Of course. And in retaliation, how would you say it reels back at first, but then it rushes at you, and almost with its full body, it is hard to describe, but it basically runs up to you and explodes like a water bomb when you dealing, let me see here, 9 blood damage to you and inflicting 3 sinking to you.
absolutely. I am weak to blunt, so that's gonna be 11 blunt damage, and that
Ooh.
would be stagger-wise 9.
Right.
And you said free sinking, I believe.
Yes.
And as bomb is struck, you can all see his body for a moment kind of crumple, as it looks like it was a very effective blow upon him.
Alrighty. Also, before we actually continue combat, real quick, we are having some technical difficulties. There's supposed to be a health bar showing, so let me see if I can fix that real quick. Sorry, technical difficulties real quick, because I do want this to be actually visible. Give me a second. Would this be... Okay, I'm...
No.
I'm pretty sure I fixed this before by literally just refreshing. Give me a second. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let me also refresh the other thingy. Give me a second. Because, yeah, that's not showing. Let me refresh. Oh, it's not playing the music anymore, of course, you dickhead. Give me a second. Real sorry about, how would you say it? The technical difficulties real quick chat, because this was not intended in the slightest.
No worries. While you're actually solving those, I did forget I have a battle ability. So I get to determine which of my skills gains +1 power for the rest of combat. Do you mind if I just roll a d3 real quick between my remaining skills, since I already went with this one?
Go ahead. Also, I'm dealing with, for some reason, the music is gone. Okay, that's lovely. Hold on. Am I... Oh, hold on. I see what's happening here. Okay, give me a second. For some reason, it decided to boot me out as a DM. Hold on. Real sorry about that, chat. I'm gonna need to relog into this thing.
I should.
Anyway, chat, talk about your favorite music real quick. What are you... how are you enjoying the... Also, how are you enjoying the session so far while I deal with these technical difficulties? Because the game has decided to boot me as a fucking DM from my own goddamn session, which is very cool.
Chat. Hi, chat. What's up?
The
What do you
mold.
think?
Hi, chat.
That was the
The
mold.
mold is consuming
The mold.
right now.
The mold.
Yes.
The mold.
I'm sorry.
The
It just
mold.
looks so delicious. It was there on the it was there on the trash can. Can't waste it.
Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. We seem to be doing better now. Let's see if this wants to... Okay, that is still the camera. That's nice. Real quick, sorry about that, chat. For the minor difficulty issues, but I wanted to show you this awesome little feature right here. You see this? We have our own little custom health bar. That is very cool, right? Like, look at that awesome stuff. Hell yeah. That is what we were missing, and that is what I wanted to showcase real quick. So, yeah. Anyway, sorry about that interruption. Continuing on, it is now...
Absolutely,
Devlin's
yes.
turn.
Bomb will pass his turn and await the next order.
Yep. Devlin, what would you like to do?
So Devlin is going to notice the one in the other room as he walks in. And he kind of like does the thing with your arm where you rotate it. And he's going to kind of half jog up to it.
Of
And
course.
you'll see his arm kind of light up as he goes to punch it in the face.
No. And also, let's see what you... Okay, you didn't actually roll, you only revealed the thingy.
Yeah.
But let us see here what this guy is going to do. Hold on, give me a second. So, I will also reveal Splash as a skill now, since they already used it before. But they are going to respond to Water Spout. Let me roll that. This is what they are going to do. They use this skill. Would you like to describe how you absolutely I would say it, absolutely just punch this thing across its proverbial jaw.
So his fist kind of hits it, and then there's a bright flash as a ball of fire erupts around the creature. You can kind of see that his tattoo has suddenly appeared on his arm, and then it quickly pulls back again, and it throws the Pecatolum backwards from just the sheer force of the blow.
Alrighty. Give me a second, let me also add that burn on it as well, since you do scar it quite well. Hit trigger
Ashley's gonna
blaze
come
on
like,
target
I
then.
told ya, he's a good for this job.
Okay. Hit trigger blaze. Let me do that real quick. Hold on, statuses. Oh, there seems to be no blaze trigger. Could you remind me what blaze does real quick?
So blaze is it causes all enemies. It just says all other enemies in the rulebook to be inflicted with 1 burn and then 1 additional burn for every burn that was on the target.
I see.
And then if they don't have burn, it just inflicts 1 burn. This skill triggers blaze on myself. I have 3 burn, and then it inflicts the spread burn to the enemies instead of my allies, so it'll be 1 burn from the initial blaze. Then the second hit, the second blaze will be 1 burn as well, because it'll only have 4 at that point.
Okay.
And then it will inflict 2 more because of the on-hit effect.
Alrighty, so everyone, all of the enemies are getting how much burn? As a conclusion?
All the other enemies are getting 2, and then the target is ending up at 6.
Okay, that's quite a bit of burn. Yeah, you absolutely demolish this Spectulum as it is just punched across, as it is just absolutely demolished and just thrown back by the sheer force of your attack. I'll just give 2 burn to all of them regardless of distance, since we are going with rules as written. And zones were not originally an intended mechanic, so I'm just gonna go with rules as written. So let me add 2 burn to everyone. Next up would be Bulk. What would you like to do?
So Bach, as his turn rolls around, he's on his stubby little legs. He's looking around. For a moment, he seems completely lost. And then, for a moment, something seems to shift inside of him, and he goes, No. The war isn't over. The battle isn't done. I remember now. I remember where I am. I remember what I still have to do. There is a plume of smoke that burns out of the top pipe. With a cracking sound, 2 large batteries appear on the back of Bomb's prosthetic that were not there before. Wires rip out of the side of the box, coiling around his arms and legs until they form new, fully grown, electrically charged limbs, and this large, beating heartbeat seems to appear inside of him, and he goes, The smoke war isn't over until they're all dead! Yes! This is why I'm still alive! As Bach manifests his ego and gets ready to fight. And with that, he's going to stride across the battlefield past Bomb, and he is going to strike the same target that Bomb struck moments ago.
Alrighty, this is going to be an unopposed attack, because this thing has already taken its action. So go ahead and just roll your shit against this thing. An 11
damage.
bloods. Okay. Well, first of all, this thing definitely staggered. Hold on, let me do the funny thing.
Do I get to chime in?
A little bit afterwards, There we go. Staggered, and you deal 11 blood damage to it, reducing it to 4 HP. And yes, you, of course, Angela, you have your funny little thing. Would you like to chime in as well to finish the job?
Yes, Ashley, actually. has been building up quite a lot of
Gonna move this
mechanical
guy over here for
hum
visibility.
to her outfit, and let me fucking state this real quick. She has this active,
Mm-hmm.
this passive, I mean.
Yes.
And since a chance, Ashley, seeing the agglomeration, seeing the what's the name, the Pecatulum looks very much close to its last legs. You can basically see the briefest chromatic aberration to her before she speeds up way too fast. Why is this not? Why am I not? Oh, there's a glass window here. And
Yeah.
she steps right next to y'all and goes, "You did great work, my friends. I'll take over from here." And she's going to pull out the gun again and shoot the Pecatulum
Okay, but
to its end.
let's be real. This thing is going to get shot to death. Would you like to describe how you kill it?
Well, yes, I literally just did. I
Okay, fair
fucking
enough.
walked in and I pointed my gun right to its head and said, "You did a good job." And she's
Alright.
going to dispatch the fiend.
Would you like to at least use the skill so that your
I do have to roll the skill. I'm thinking
yes.
which skill. Calm down.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I mean, you do basically have a guaranteed skill unless you literally roll one. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. They'll take out the little Pekachula as it kind of like from the piercing attack. It is sort of almost like you're popping a bubble. You shoot into it and it's like inflates a little bit until it just goes like pop. And it is completely eviscerated from existence. Goodbye. And you've taken out the Pecatulum. One of many to go. And next up would be hold on, let me see. Focus already went. Pecatulum. Okay, so this Pecatulum in the back. Hold on, let me zoom out for chat because they are not actually, this guy's not actually visible to them. This guy appears from around the corner. It is a glue Pecatulum that seemed to have been walking around in this hallway right before noticing the things going on in here. It looks to be assessing the room, like briefly, before immediately choosing to jump on Ashley and attack it at full force. You've already used your action, so this is going to be unopposed. Give me a second. Let's see what this guy is going to do. I will also reveal water spout because it's been used. It's not going to use liquid. Actually, it's going to use splash against you. Roll. That is going to be 2 blunt damage, 6 blunt damage, and 5 sinking on you.
Jesus.
Yep, that is what an unopposed attack does to a motherfucker.
4 blunt. Well, no. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing.
So yeah, take your time to go ahead and calculate that. Tell me when you've got it noted down. Anyway, that is this guy's little action. Up next would be another glue Pecatulum, who I'm only going to go ahead and assess where the heck this little guy is. Oh, it's that little guy. Okay. Let me zoom out here. This little fella is going to notice that his friend is being jumped and is going to try to attempt to flank Devlin. You have also used your attack already, so this will also likewise be an unopposed attack. Let me see what it is going to use here. It is going to use Water Spout. That is going to be 7 pierce damage and 2 sinking. And it is going to have a dodge saved up. So that is... Hold on, give me a second. Let me adjust its dice. So it is going to have blue to indicate it has a defensive dice saved.
Oh yeah. That is going to be 9 pierce damage.
Ah, because of weakness. Right. Anyway, up next on the chopping block, we have Willow, actually, funny enough. Okay, since Willow is an assisting NPC, I will treat this a little bit differently. Out of character, I will allow you to basically direct what Willow is going to do. And also, since she's dying on speed with you, Ashley. Oh wait, you've already taken your action. Okay, that literally doesn't matter. Out of character, I'm going to allow you to decide what Willow should do. Or, if you want to, you can just let her autonomously do her own stuff. Is there anyone who would like to request a backup from Willow or her to do something? If not, then she's going to act on her own.
Bach has his red eye open. He's looking around, and he does identify and say, Devlin might need an assist. He split off from the rest of the group. Maintain cohesion. If they divide us, we're the ones who get swarmed.
On it! To the rescue I go! Says Willow as she proclaims that excitedly. Going through the streets around and through the broken glass over here. And attacking the Gloom Pecatula that does not have a defensive die saved up and has already used its action. Let me see here what she is going to do. Let's see here. Cash win. Let us see here. She is going to use a skill called Pin Down as an unopposed attack. So let's roll this. She is going to... Hold on, give me a second. Let me read this fully. She is going to apply 4 pierce damage, which is going to turn into a 7 because of its weakness. Making it take 29 to 22 damage. Another 7 pierce going from 22 to 15. And then 2 blunt damage going from 15 to 30 HP. In terms of stagger, it is going to go from 15 to 11, from 11 to 7, and from 7 to 5, as it is also going to gain Bind, Bleed, and Feeble. There we go. Jade. To describe her action as she goes ahead and pins this Pecatula down, she basically comes rushing in with her Magcatcher, almost as if it is like a glorified lance. Instantly pin this Gloom Pecatula to the ground, and since you, Devlin, have front row seats to this, you see how her weapon works. She pins it down with her Magcatcher and seems to be adjusting something on her weapon, which makes the screws around her Magcatcher dig deeper into the opponent's flesh and make it so that the Magcatcher is almost inseparable from this Gloom Pecatula, as it basically just screams in pain, at least to your understanding of it. And that will be her action. Ashley already has had her turn because she started off. Gloom Pecatula, you've already had your turn. Next up on the docket is this Gloom Pecatula, which hasn't had its turn yet. Let us see what it does. It goes over, notices that its friend from previously has been vanquished, and goes over to try to attack Bulk to get revenge for its former ally. And if I recall correctly, you've already taken your action, so this will be an unopposed attack, right?
Yep, Bach. All Bach can do is bring his arms up over his eye, and that's the only... It's not even a real defense, because this strike is going to hit unopposed.
Okay, it is going to use Water Spout. So roll that, and you can see what it does. It is going to deal 4 pierce damage to you, 2 sinking, and is going to have a evade dice stored.
Or Pierce. No changes on Pierce to either to affinity, so I will take 4 at each. And
Okie dokie. Alrighty, sounds good. Next up, I already see you're very excited to move yourself along. Next up on the docket would be Briar. What would you like to do?
Briar. Yeah, Briar has just been lumbering around slowly, but as she is doing so, you can actually see that there are thorny vines that are starting to like grow from her arms and her and the hem of her dress, because because she also is manifesting her ego.
Oh lord.
Yeah, and she goes close to where Bok and Bomb is, and then she looks at this Pecatulum that has harmed her friends, and she will use.
Go ahead. It'll be an unopposed attack.
Her enthralling horns.
Alrighty, so you're going to deal 8 pierce damage to it. Or would you like to describe its damage this thing?
Yeah, she as you can see, the thorns are just growing more out of her body, and then on a single pain break, it basically just drills into the to the Pecatulum, and she says, yeah, she intersperses herself in between the two of them, just to try to protect them, and then right now she's not hunched over, she's more of like she stands taller, and she doesn't say anything.
Alrighty. Yeah, you get a good hit off on this gloom Pecatula as it once again reels in pain from your attack. And yeah, that shall be your turn. Next on the docket would be Midi. Hold on, let me switch over to you. Would be Midi. There we go. What would you like to do, Midi?
Minnie would like to assist Devlin and Willow. I think the other group got it handled with 4 people. Minnie would like to use her attack on that one Pecatulum that Devlin and Willow are working on.
Alrighty, it's already taken its action, so this will be unopposed.
Oh yeah, it's it. I hope. Minnie will use expedited shipment.
Ooh.
I will roll now. I know what I'm doing.
Alright.
I hate this.
Minnie.
Yep.
Let's see. No, go ahead.
Sorry, side note, I am 1 damage off from killing that thing, and that
2
sucks.
damage to be specific. It has blunt resistance of 1.
I love that for him. Minnie rushes towards the... Oh, there's 2 of them. Minnie rushes towards him through the broken glass and attacks the one right next to Devlin. Right next to Willow.
Uh-huh.
Yep. She brings like her broom, and like with the blunt end of her broom, she thrusts it towards the Pecatulum, and after she hits it with one quick motion, she spins the broom really quickly, hitting the Pecatulum with the other end of the broom. And,
ooh, nice.
Right after that, she uses her inhaler and gains... Was it 2 poise? Yeah, I gained 2 poise.
Alrighty, nice. Yeah, you deal a good chunk of damage to this fella. It is on its last legs, and you notice it's previously burning from the attack that Devlin has done against it. This thing is going to succumb to its wounds, let's just say, and will be taken down the moment it transitions over the next round and burn damage procs. But before that, can our local Gloom Pecatulum that is the furthest away from combat do literally anything to help? And the answer is no, he can't. He will move over to the hallways and do literally nothing. Oh, hold on. Yeah, he physically cannot reach anyone, but he'll be intimidatingly standing at this door. And we are going to go over to the next round, as this guy does literally nothing with his turn. And so, before anything happens, this Spicatula over here, hold on, let me just zoom out a little bit for the audience. This Spicatula over here succumbs to its burn, dies. This Spicatula, I think, is fine. The rest are fine. Okay. I will, by the way, just as a little thing before next round, and I think we will also be leaving it off here because we've been running for 3 hours, so I think it's a good point to probably leave it off at, since we at least got into combat a little bit, and we can continue it next time. But as combat continues, I will briefly describe what happens for next round. As next round, you see more Gloom Spicatula coming out from the hallway as there's a moving, sloshing sound coming about from the hallway as more Spicatula seems to be joining the fight as well. The rest of the fray is finally coming over to join the party. And also, hold on, give me a second. There's one more of these guys. Where the fuck? He doesn't want to cooperate. One more little guy to join the fray as well from this side over here. And I think with the threat of more enemy reinforcements coming along, and it's the initial first few rounds of very well performed combat and pushing the advantage, we shall see next session if they are able to maintain that advantage as more Gloom Spicatula join the fight. And I think that is where we'll probably be leaving off at for today. And thank you all for coming. I hope you all enjoyed it.
Shouldn't we end the fight?
No, I was thinking we could leave that for next session. I was thinking
But
we could...
the Foundry is not gonna save this.
No, it is. It is.
You sure?
Yes, it is. Like, that is why I'm specifically ending it in the middle of a round, Angela. So we can save the stats and continue onwards from there.
Alright.
Anyway, yeah, sorry if this is a little bit coming out of the blue, but I did intend to go first round of combat and we can save the rest for later. Because I intend for the rest of the thing to be explored next time. And I don't think we'll be finishing this combat, this session anyway. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Do you have any words of your own?
Thank you all so much for coming on out. First of all, we probably should also shout out the artists who did the acids for this.
Yes, definitely.
So a big... Oh, no, if you want to do that, well,
oh, no,
right
you
ahead.
go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and you can let me know if I miss anyone. Meru Online is the one who did all our Fugis and our token art here. Limeade Arcade is the one who did Willow's token / sprite.
And the map as well.
The map as well, yes. And Welvader, you are the one who did the cutscene that we all witnessed beforehand.
Yep. Let me pull that up again as a reminder. Yeah, chat, I drew all of this myself, actually. I myself am an artist to my own project as well. So yeah, fun little fact about that. I mean, it should have been obvious from the pixel art that I was behind it, but yeah. Thank you for that mention, Meru. Meru, what the fuck? Sina.
I am
What?
Meru.
I'm sorry, that was in my consciousness at the moment since you mentioned Meru. My bad.
Also, well, may
Yes?
I, and you can absolutely turn me down on this, may I advertise the Discord place where people can talk about the campaign in the meantime while they're
Go
waiting
ahead.
for the next session?
Feel free to.
Awesome. So I do have a Discord with channels set up for 13 Association. For anyone who is interested in joining, you can join. You can talk about what you enjoyed in the session. You can share your theories. You can share any fan art and memes. May I post the link in the chat or send it to you to post for people to join if they'd so wish?
Yeah, you are free to send it in chat, I think. Completely free to.
Absolutely. So there you all go. But yes, please, we would love to hear your thoughts on the campaign. We'd love to hear how you
Or-
all enjoyed things, and thank you all so much
Or-
for coming on out.
Or
That is
actually,
all I
hold
have
on,
to
hold
say.
on. I might need to
Oh,
actually
yes.
share the link on my own because I don't think I made you moderator. So
Yeah,
it is probably
Sida's not a
catching
mod,
auto
so the
mod.
link
Yeah,
gets
send
moved.
the link to me. Send the link to me, Sida.
Oh, absolutely.
in
I
the
just
chat.
pinged you with the link. There you go.
Give me a second. Where the heck did you ping me? It's
Oh,
in.
ooh.
Oh, there we go. Hold on.
Yep.
Yes. Give me that Discord link. Copy paste, and I shall be putting it into chat. Here you go. This is Sida's server, and yeah, that is where, if you want, you could continue your discussion about other, likewise 13th Association, but also other awesome TTRPGs, such as, you know, do you want to say the phrase, Sida?
I run a tabletop role-playing game set in the Project Moon universe.
Yes, the fifth trumpet.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah. Oh yeah, also true what Arkansha is saying in the comments as well. True. Shout out to Ziv, who has been doing a lot of coding work for us behind the back. All of these awesome like health bars you see, and the light indicators, and also the text being like having actual icons in it and being colored. That is all Ziv's work. He is probably not as well known, but he is a LobCorp modder that is quite well known in LobCorp modding community, and he's been kind enough to make a lot of modules for us on Foundry, which has been absolutely lovely, and I hope that has helped for immersion as well. Because personally, I think it's awesome to... What did you say?
I also helped a lot with the summaries, the formatting.
Yes,
like,
yes,
giving
as well.
ideas for
Feel
him
free
what-
to
what
talk about
give.
that. Feel free to talk about that.
Not much. It's just like I've been constantly like me and Ziv have been back and forth a lot, generating ideas for visibility's sake for the stream, for the audience, for UX in general, and Ziv's being the one coding all of that. So, shout out to Ziv.
Shout out to Ziv. But yeah, I think with that being said...
sorry, Will,
yes.
not to cut you off. There is one last person we should also shout out real quick, and that is the person who made this system that we're using.
True, that is well. Shout out to Jackafang, who is the original creator of the Stars of the City module, and has probably also helped advertise this as well. We've been I would say it's been a pleasure getting to know him a lot better and also playing his system. It has been absolutely lovely. Big part of the reason I chose this system in the first place is because I think it is the best representation of Project Moon Combat we have as a TTRPG system at the moment. So I'm absolutely happy to play it, and glad to have his support as well. And so shout out to Jackafang. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He makes awesome videos pertaining to the creation of this system, and also other stuff like I think he was doing Magic the Gathering and Limbus company stuff combined. So yeah, check his channel out likewise. And with that, of course, thank you as well to my awesome, amazing, lovely players here today. Would you all like to say anything for yourself as well?
Yay! Where'd you subscribe?
Subscribe to Welvader on YouTube.
Subscribe to Welvader.
Subscribe to
Yes.
Welvader on
Yeah.
YouTube.
I want you to glaze
also
yourself, don't glaze me. Glaze yourself a little bit.
Donate to the Tiltify link in the description. It's probably in the description. I don't know.
Listen,
Yeah.
Hey, the charity, god damn you! This is
Yeah, donate to charity. Subscribe to Welvader.
yes.
So true.
Also, yes, we
Subscribe
should
from the
be
Archie
well.
Bird YouTube channel.
Yeah, Archie needs 50k subs.
No, I said unsubscribe. Anyway, you
People
were
are
saying.
asking when is
What
next
the hell?
session, and we should probably inform
Right,
the audience
next session. Next session, it is going to... Okay, it is going to start same time, next week Sunday, but it is going to start 30 minutes earlier. I'm really sorry about starting 30 minutes late from when I originally said I was going to do it. And truth be told, chat, the reason for that is because I've been skipping out on sleep and I've not slept for the last 24 hours. I hope it's not been too
Let's
noticeable.
go.
But yeah, it's been generally super fun to run this, and I
Yeah.
don't think I have any finishing words. So with that, I think we'll be bidding you adieu with this one, chat. I hope this has been a fun first session for y'all. Happy to have such a big turnout. I actually didn't expect this many people, and I'm so glad to see it. And yeah, stay tuned for the next session, as there's going to be a lot more exciting stuff than just back into them, let's say. As, yeah, let's just leave it there. But anyway, with that, goodbye, chat. Would you all like to say goodbye to chat as well?
Goodbye,
Bye.
chat.
Bye, chat.
Goodbye.
Remember, your
Thank you
days
for
are
watching.
numbered.